When he first set foot on the Santa Clara campus, Big John Bryant was just that, big. But after 4 years and a rewriting of the Broncos record book, a not quite so big John Bryant has become the most dominant big man in the West Coast Conference. Today, facing the Portland Pilots, with both teams fighting for WCC tournament seeding, Bryant takes the Levy Center court for one last time. It's Portland and Santa Clara next on Comcast Sports Nets. To not be quite as tough on the opponents this afternoon as they were on Thursday night, and they come to pay tribute. A lot of them wearing number 54 T-shirts to honor the great John Bryant, who will take the Levy Center court for one last time here in Santa Clara, and it's a big game against the Portland Pilots, who are currently tied for second in the West Coast Conference. They're trying to get that coveted double bye all the way to the semifinals of the conference tournament next week, but for that to happen, they're going to have to win today and get St. Mary's to lose tonight against Loyola. Santa Clara could get a fourth place with a win today, and a more likely Gonzaga win tonight against the University of San Diego. Good afternoon, one and all, and welcome to West Coast Conference basketball here on Comcast Sportsnet. I'm joined by the former USD Torero, the great Eric Musselman of the broadcast. Greg Papa with you in a big game today for Santa Clara, trying to get number 4. But today, we kind of pause and pay tribute to one of the great Broncos of all time, John Bryant.
And what a year John Bryant's had. The big center puts up a double-double almost every night out. He's a guy who controls the paint for the Broncos, got great hands, can finish inside and make that 15-foot jump shot.
Question is he the West Coast Conference Player of the Year? We'll discuss that, debate that throughout the broadcast today. His team obviously has a big game today in his home finale. Not at the University of Portland. They are a very well-balanced team, a much improved team. Eric Remino has them playing very well, and the leader of this is a newcomer, a junior college transfer in point guard T.J. Campbell, who leads the conference in three-point shooting percentage.
And Campbell's had a phenomenal year. Probably the newcomer of the WCC. He's a player that can create shots off the dribble and make shots as the shot clock expires. The most impressive thing is his ability to not only make the three, but shoot such a high percentage from beyond the arc.
Did you say he takes only good shots? That was a half-court heave. The shot clock there against St. Mary's was ticking from 1 to 0. That's why he had a launch, but he made that shot. TJ did not play well Thursday night, and their loss to the University of San Diego. Look for him to have his game face on today in a very important game for the Pilots. He'll be joined in the backcourt by the explosive scoring Nick Rivey, who also struggled in San Diego on Thursday. What a matchup. He'll be in the backcourt dueling with Kevin Foster tonight. Good one. Pilots and Broncos will tip it when we come back.
At U.S. Bank, we support athletics, the arts, and anyone with a dream. Support that's not just about money. It's about investing our time and our care to make the most of the places we call home. That's the power of U.S. Bank. 5-star service guaranteed.
When the Bay Area's top high schools choose a company for their biggest construction projects, they choose DevCon Construction. The new 50,000 square foot humanities building with its state-of-the-art theater at Bellarmine College Prep is being built by DevCon. St. Francis High School chose DevCon for its new 30,000 square foot theater. And St. Ignatius now has a state-of-the-art music room, weight room, classrooms, and upgraded cafeteria, all built by DevCon. Completed on time and on budget. DevCon Construction, the path to higher expectations.
Hey! How's it going? I just wanted to tell you I got free HD. Yeah, free HD. The new Comcast HD triple play. Faster internet, unlimited calling, and the most HD anytime I want.
That's great. Thanks for telling me.
I'm pumped! Yeah. Hey!
Get triple excited.
Sir!
The most HD with no fees, faster internet, unlimited calling. The new Comcast HD triple play is here.
My first week home was great. We had a party, small party.
2 o'clock in the morning, they were waiting for me.
My niece was waiting for me at the airport with a sign and balloons.
There was a huge sign across my front house, and it said, "Welcome home, Megan."
They lifted me up on their shoulders, and
First week back, people just said thank you. They just said thank you.
A new generation of veterans is coming home. Make a difference for them at welcomebackveterans.org.
West Coast Conference basketball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Zappos.com. Millions of clothes, bags, accessories, and, of course, shoes. By Las Vegas, home of the WCC Basketball Championships coming up this weekend, March the 6th through the 9th. By Barry'sTickets.com. Log on and let Barry's hook you up. And by Comcast. Comcast has more HD choices than satellite, more than the phone company, more than anyone, period. And welcome to our Comcast simulcast today on Comcast Sportsnet Northwest and Comcast Sportsnet California. Greg Papa, Eric Musselman, welcome inside the Levy Center on this, the final day of the regular season around the West Coast Conference, and both these schools have a lot to play for. Portland's trying to get the number 2 seed and a double bye in next week's tournament, and Santa Clara's trying to get the 4th seed, which would give them a first round bye. Eric Reveno's going to change his starting lineup today. Ethan Niedermeyer from nearby De La Salle High School is going to play off the bench, and B.J. Porter, who played very well Thursday in San Diego, will start, and possibly he will guard at times the explosive Santa Clara guard Kevin Foster. There is Eric Reveno after a pair of 9-win seasons. He has this team 18-10, and what a tremendous turnaround campaign. I think it even surprised him just how well they have played this year.
They've really had a phenomenal year, and as you talk to people around the WCC, the theme that you keep getting is this coaching staff at Portland has not gotten enough credit thus far. They've done a phenomenal job with their young players, not a senior on the team, and this team has played above where they were projected coming out of the gates.
James Rahan is back in the starting lineup for Kerry Keating. He missed the game last Saturday night over at USF, played off the bench on a Thursday in the loss here to Gonzaga. We were teasing the Rough Riders. They got a little too rough with the Gonzaga Bulldogs here on Thursday night. The university issued an apology. Kerry Keating was very outspoken, and they solemnly swear to be on their best behavior today.
Well, we'll
see how it goes.
Maybe Kerry will have to jump in the crowd next time.
Here's Foster giving it off to Calvin Johnson. Both Calvin Johnson and John Bryant being honored today. The pair of seniors playing their final home games here on Senior Day, and they're very good friends. John has said he's like a brother of mine. That's a palming violation on Kevin Foster, and a turnover right away for Santa Clara.
And the effect of Campbell on ball defensively, he's got a low center of gravity and is going to bother guys that dribble the ball above their waist.
78th meeting. Santa Clara's won 53 of the first 77. Portland's won the last 2. That was after Santa Clara won 6 in a row. Take away on the other end by the Broncos and Big John. These two schools met at the Childs Center in Portland on January the 17th. The score was deceptively tight. Portland won by only a point, but they were up big. They were up by 8 at halftime, by as many as 17 before Bryant and the Broncos came back. Ball was poked out of there. Defense ruling the first minute of the game. There's Rivio going up, and he got fouled. Good foul there by Calvin Johnson. Rivio was going up to shoot and probably score.
At the other end, Greg, when you look at a guy like Campbell, the ball gets thrown into the post to Bryant, and Campbell does a nice job of digging, having active hands, and it's important how they shrink the floor here as a unit. Portland, every time Bryant catches, they want to try to have different people digging in the post and sitting in his lap.
Nick Rivio struggled in their very costly loss to San Diego on Thursday. In fact, he missed all 4 of his free throws. He also had a heavy turnover game. How could a Rivio miss 4 free throws in a game? His brother Derek is one of the greatest collegiate free throw shooters of all time. Nick does lead them in scoring at almost 16 points a game.
The whole family, right? You wouldn't want to play horse or have a free throw contest in that family.
Did you play against his dad, Rick, or were you?
I might have.
Rick was there in the late 70s at the University of Portland. He had a free throwing game against USF. He was 16 of 16 from the line of all all-time school record most makes without a miss. Here's T.J. Campbell. They list him at 5'9", but he is owned up to being just 5'7", but he's built like a fullback. Look at the body on this guy.
You know who he looks like? Is Jameer Nelson of the Orlando Magic. Very similar body frames.
Foul here on John Bryant. John has done a good job being in much better shape, staying out of foul trouble this year. As you get a look at T.J. Campbell in that upper body build, he is 5'7", 190 pounds. John was in foul trouble here against Gonzaga on Thursday, and he picks up a foul here in the game's first 90 seconds. Campbell against Foster. Probably the two best newcomers in the conference this year. Backdoor, Campbell gets loose there, and Foster just lost his man on that.
How often do you see a team throw a lob pass to a point guard under 6 foot? You see his ability as a football player. He was a wing back. Great hands, great leaping ability.
Also played some cornerback on defense, and here he is running stride for stride through all the screens to match up with Foster. Foster the step back. Foster is a true freshman from Katy, Texas. Look at Big John knock it away from Campbell, and Foster will let one fly. Foster's a very streaky shooter. Another great rebound. He's going to fire up a three. That's the one thing he has done in his career. He's not done yet in his career. He wants to accomplish. I think we may see a few threes from him today. Look at John flying all over the court. Rivio. Porter, who's got great hops, almost dunked that back in. It was put back in by Smelders. And Kerry Keating angrily stops the game here and is saying, guys, do you want to play today or what? We're down 6-0 here.
Portland all over every loose ball. Excellent job on this back door. It all starts with that back pick, really, Greg. That's what set it up. And then the activity all over the backboards, flying around, getting loose balls, coming from the strong side on the glass and the weak side boards as well.
Portland is a very good rebounding team. They have out-rebounded 14 of the last 19 opponents. They pulled about 3 rebounds a game. Of course, they're coached by Eric Reveneau, and you know they're going to be a very good rebounding team. They're a much better scoring team than they were last year, up about 7.5 points a game. In fact, they are the 3rd best scoring team in the conference, behind only Gonzaga and St. Mary's.
And that starts with their point guard, Campbell's ability to push the ball and get easy baskets.
Campbell trying to push Calvin Johnson towards the baseline. Does not want to let him get middle.
Portland giving us a little zone look.
What is this, a 2-3?
We're going to try to figure it out here. It's a scrambling, almost a 1-3-1, it looks like.
Nice pass by Rayhan, and Trasolini also has had a very good freshman year with the dunk. That's a couple of freshmen combining there. James Rayhan, the true freshman from Torrey Pines High School in San Diego, able to get it inside.
And against those zones, Greg, you've got to make quick passes and not dribble the ball, and that's what the Broncos did.
Another backdoor cut there, but Campbell's pass floated too far, and not even Rivio's a great leaper could get there. Foster, this one spins out. Foster had 20 points to lead them in scoring on Thursday against the Zags, but did not score in the game's last 14 minutes. T.J. Campbell so efficient with his shot selection.
The great thing about that was he caught the ball with his L, meaning his elbow, ready to catch and shoot the ball. No airspace, catch, shoot right now, which is what all great, confident three-point shooters do.
That's why he could squeeze it off so quickly. Nice play by Rayhan, who started offensively this year, struggling with his shot, but that has come around, and he can beat you off the dribble. He is a terrific young scorer, James Rayhan. At Torrey Pines High School, a tremendous program, Eric, as you know from your San Diego days. He scored 26 a game as a senior and as a junior. There's Rayhan matching up with B.J. Porter to Campbell. Robin Smelders out to Rivio, and that's a 3. Rayhan playing aggressively, bats the rebound away to himself. And to stop the ball here, Portland. Rayhan will take it all the way in. A block and a clean block, no foul there on Robin Smelders. Well, Rayhan is off to a very quick start. Back in the starting lineup, he has an assist and also a basket of his own after being down 6-0. Santa Clara has woken up this afternoon.
DEVCON Construction is a leader in building high-performance green buildings. These energy-efficient and environmentally friendly buildings help reduce energy-related greenhouse gas emissions. DEVCON is certified as part of the Green Building Council's Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. DEVCON has a full staff of green building certified employees to construct new buildings with cutting-edge environmental technology. DEVCON Construction is building success in Silicon Valley. DEVCON Construction, the path to higher expectations. For more than 30 years, DEVCON Construction has earned a reputation for building the finest structures for the most innovative companies in and around Silicon Valley. A DEVCON project means meeting deadlines with the resources needed to complete a successful project within your budget. 90% of DEVCON clients are repeat customers, a true reflection of DEVCON's success. From school buildings to athletic fields to the largest high-rise, DEVCON Construction can do it all. DEVCON Construction, the path to higher expectations.
At U.S. Bank, we support athletics, the arts, and anyone with a dream. Support that's not just about money. It's about investing our time and our care to make the most of the places we call home. That's the power of U.S. Bank. 5-star service guaranteed.
College basketball on Comcast Sportsnet California will continue this coming Thursday when Bulldog forward Paul George will lead Fresno State against Boise State in a WAC college basketball game. That's Fresno State and Boise State from the Western Athletic Conference Thursday at 6 only on Comcast Sportsnet California. The seniors are being feted today. There's Calvin Johnson, one of 11 children growing up in Morton, Texas. Had a great freshman year for Dick Davey and playing meaningful minutes here for Kerry Keating as a senior. And Big John brought his entire big family out. And his brothers out, his mom and dad were out. Big day for both Johnson and Bryant, who are the best of friends. As I said earlier, Big John says that Calvin's like a brother of his, and they hang out together all the time. Because when you spend 4 years together in one place, you kind of get close together, don't you?
You would hope so.
Here's Rayhan, who at times can be like radar the way he shoots the ball. And he is shooting it well today. He's looking to be aggressive with his scoring today, isn't he?
He really is, and they need him to score because of Campbell's ability to defend Foster.
Three-pointer made there to make it a 9-7 game. Ethan Niedermeyer from De La Salle High just checked in and immediately threw it away. Kevin Foster off to a slow start. Lucky he did not turn the ball over there. He just missed his first three. He is kind of a streaky player, but Harry Keating needs him to shoot the ball today. Here's Niedermeyer trying to throw it inside and taken away by Trasolini.
On these lobs, Greg, you're going to get one a game, and they've already tried 3, and we haven't even played 6-7 minutes. So you've got to pick and choose when you throw that lob pass. And again, the only way you're going to get a free look at a lob is if the screen is set up and there's no weak side help. And right now, Santa Clara doing a great job with weak side help on the lobs.
Ben Dowdell is checked into the game for Santa Clara to play on the front line. He had 9 rebounds, a career high when these two schools met back in January. That's going to roll out. How did that not go in? The velodrome shot again, all the way around the rim and fell off the bag. Nice cut though, backdoor cut. Big John, who can pass the ball, got it inside. Kramer Knutson saying, Nick John is too big. I'm going to back out. Livio back in, he'll repost. Bryant, great shot blocker, got it cleanly. But back out to Campbell. Boy, they score on that. Couple of posts inside, a block shot, and they still get a basket out of that set.
And what great arch and backspin on the release on Campbell's shot. It's a beautiful looking shot.
Now, he struggled as Bryant fumbles the ball out of bounds. TJ Campbell was held to 6 points, 5 off his average Thursday in San Diego. There's John getting it cleanly. And then Knutson just throws it back out and finds the open guy.
A double assist, maybe.
There was everything on that sequence. A block shot, an assist, and a basket. The box score got completely filled there. But Campbell did not play well. In fact, he was scoreless in the first half. And he made a three-pointer late in the game to even pad his numbers. He really had a down game, so he really has his game face on today, this young man. Nice pass inside to Niedermeyer. Kerry Keating is just livid with his team, and he should be. How often do you see a pass from out on the wing like that right through the heart of a half-court defense for a layup?
Great court vision, and Sikma does a nice job of catching that ball and finishing. As a point guard, you always want your eyes up, not looking at the ball, and seeing the entire floor, which is what Campbell does. He surveys the court, and that's why defensively, you've got to have your hands in the quarterback's eyes. You can't have your hands in your pockets. You've got to have them up, active, bothering the passer.
Taishi Ito, the junior guard from Japan, who was their starting point guard a year ago, will come into the game along with Jared Stoll, a tremendous shooter. So Campbell leads the game here. And in recent games, one comes to mind against St. Mary's over in Moraga when Campbell left the game. Portland began to struggle. We'll see how they play today. Up by 7 as he left. They're defending Foster well. Can Ito get up on Foster? Interesting call. Coach Revino, talking to him before the game, said Ito's a better defender than he may appear. He can guard Foster. There's Perry Petty with a clock down. What a catch by Trasolini! He was cutting inside, just reached back with one hand to save a turnover there and score a basket.
Great hands, and anytime there's a baseline drive, you want players on the weak side to get to the baseline block, and that's what happened by Trasolini on that possession.
See Big John strolling down the scoring table. He was pulled out by Kerry Keating after that layup scored by Sikma. John Haggerty is just so huge inside. He does not play very much, but he played against Gino Palmer on Thursday. He also played against Omar Sanhan when Portland played St. Mary's. They're going to need his size today to match up with Bryant. Right now he is matching up with Trasolini. Well, there's the alley, and nobody ooped, and that became an oops.
We've seen more alley-oop passes thus far than we would in an NBA 48-minute game already.
Even in an NBA game. Dennis Autry. Remember Dennis Autry played in the NBA for a long time with the Phoenix Suns. He was a Santa Clara Bronco. Before John Bryant pulled a rebound today, he had Santa Clara's all-time single-season record with 409 rebounds. They'll take Autry out of the record book. They won't take him out of the rafters. His jersey will still hang there. But John Bryant with now exactly 410 rebounds, single-season Santa Clara record. Backdoor line. What's going on, Coach? And a foul inside as Smelders was able to catch it and draw the foul on Dowdell.
Again, you've got to put pressure on the ball to take away any lob passes. But there's a lot of guys playing below the rim. We're not going to see many alley-oop dunks today, I don't think.
We're seeing a lot of alleys but few oops. Where's R.C. Owens when we need him? Robin Smelders, a 77% free throw shooter from Germany. Gets the first, misses on the second. Rebound to Perry Petty. Well, the Broncos now with Petty at point guard move Foster over to the off guard. And they need Foster to score a little bit here. There he is against Ito off the curl. No foul. He blasted him. 3-on-2. Smelders tipped out there by Michael Santos. And that's a turnover. That's off of our timeout has been called by Revino. How's there no call here? Look at Haggerty.
Haggerty's coming over, laying some wood on some people. Maybe we need a fourth rep today.
Who will advance to the dance? The West Coast Conference Men's and Women's Basketball Championships head to the bright lights of Las Vegas and the Orleans Arena on March 6th through the 9th. Don't miss your opportunity to see 2008 NCAA tournament participants Gonzaga, St. Mary's, and San Diego battle Loyola Marymount, Pepperdine, Portland, San Francisco, and Santa Clara for the right to advance to the 2009 NCAA Men's and Women's Basketball tournaments. Buy your tickets now at WCCSports.com.
Their BMW didn't make it home. But they did. Winner of a 5-star crash test rating and a top safety pick award. What makes BMW an unrivaled value? Find out at BayAreaBMW.com.
You don't have to take this, Wendy.
Really?
You're a Comcast digital cable customer, so you can stop your on-demand movie and finish it in another room.
I didn't know that.
Now you know. May I suggest a room downstairs?
Any Room on Demand lets you start watching in one room, finish in another. Learn more at Comcast.com/anyroom.
The new exclusive home for your Oakland A's is right here on Comcast Sportsnet California. 147 games, 75 will come your way in beautiful high definition. A's pre- and post-game lives. There's never been better and more of it, Oakland A's coverage, than this coming year right here on Comcast Sportsnet California. Our first broadcast will be 2 weeks from today. A Cactus League matchup with their Bay Area rivals, the Giants. Where the A's are, Comcast Sportsnet California. We do want to welcome once again our audience watching on Comcast Sportsnet Northwest up in the Portland area. There's a final, or second half score, we should say. San Francisco trying to get a win as they lead Pepperdine 48-42. Pepperdine at 5-8 in the conference. They're going to get the number 6 seed, but if they win today, they could possibly get up and get in this mess with Pepperdine and with San Diego and Santa Clara. We'll see how the day transpires. Here's Santos into Bryant. Santa Clara has a chance to get number 4 today with a win. And Gonzaga win tonight. And Portland needs to win today and have St. Mary's lose at Loyola. Probably unlikely to get the number 2 seed.
Haggerty did a great job of staying down on his feet and just making Bryant shoot over an extended hand.
Robin Smelders, a very nice right-hand jump hook there by the German. He's a good scorer. He's their third leading scorer at over 11 points a game.
That was a great duck-in.
Portland's playing well. They have been the better school so far. Jared Stoll, a good shooter, not a great defender, but he does force a step out there. Barry Petty, who has been a bit turnover prone during his freshman year. In fact, he was the starting point guard for Santa Clara up until the Broncos trip to Portland back in mid-January. They took him to the bench and they moved Kevin Foster to the point position. Santa Clara just commits too many turnovers.
They really do, and that little bit of that has to do with experience as well. Foster, a guy who's a scorer, playing the point and actually doing a pretty good job for a freshman point guard. But again, you've got to take care of the ball and get a shot on goal in order to win conference games.
Santa Clara averages over 16 turnovers a game. Here's T.J. Campbell. Foster did not get out there real well on that. Got caught up inside in the wash, and that was an open jumper by Campbell.
The Pilots do a good job of screening the man and not screening an area. They're doing a good job of headhunting whoever is defending Campbell.
There's Rayhan with a jumper, 3. Here's John Bryant. What great hands from Bryant. Tipped up and in by Trasolini, but Bryant gave him that second shot. The way he's able with those soft hands to keep the ball above his head. A lot of big guys don't do that as well.
He does a good job of not using the dribble where he could get stripped.
Foster against Campbell. We mentioned probably the 2 top candidates for newcomer of the year in the conference. Foster's a true freshman, and Campbell a junior college transfer. Look at John Bryant. Just keep his hands above his head. Never bring it down. Go right back up.
And he does a good job of even tipping the ball to himself. He used his right hand to tip it over to the left hand and then got a shot up. And then, again, the rest of the Broncos finishing up missed shot.
Well, his numbers this year are just incredible. There's a lob over the top into Knutson. Missed it. Trasolini was fronting, got back and pulled the rebound. John Bryant almost 18 points a game, 13.5 rebounds a game, the second best in the nation behind only Blake Griffin. 2.5 blocks a game. He was shooting 61% from the floor. Right now they're struggling at either Big John or Kevin Foster, their top 2 scorers, have made a basket yet. Here's Foster. He's still without a hoop here. Foster has missed his first 5, and John's 0 for 4.
And really, the beauty of having a football player play basketball like Campbell, where he is willing and able to fight through screens.
Calvin Johnson, who used to be a pretty good high school football player growing up. He was a quarterback and a defensive back in Texas Morton High School. He couldn't fight through that screen, though. He got knocked down trying to go through. And that gave an open jumper there from Jared Stoll, who you just cannot leave open. He is the best shooter in the gym. Look at John Bryant trying to get Andrew inside. And finally, Big John has a hoop.
Really, the guy inside who held Portland was Haggerty, because he has the body weight to hold up and at least try to contain Bryant.
There's a foul called on Kevin Foster, a holding foul. Kerry Keating is not happy. Mike Peterson, Brian Rude, and Horace Shields are officials. Let's see about this one.
The defender is shading the ball back to the left. That's such incidental contact. You really got to let it go because it's 40 feet from the basket. There's no reason to make that call.
You didn't like it either, huh?
Not really. As a coach, that drives you crazy.
Well, when you're trying to get your team, who's clearly playing flat today, to show some defensive intensity, you can't have a call like that on it. There's Smelders with a left hand blocked and taken away by Bryant. There's the outlet to Foster. Rayhan. And he did not make it. Rayhan, I think when he was going up for that shot, he was looking in the baseline to pass to Calvin Johnson. He could not fit it through there, Coach. The last moment he decided is to shoot it himself.
And when you have that ball and you're going full speed, you really need to try to finish it strong with your left hand. Bryant just does a phenomenal job of not lifting on pump fakes. He stays down, and that shot has got to be taken with the left hand, not the right hand. When you shoot that ball with your right hand like Rohan did, you're shooting it into the defender's body. You need to use your left hand.
But he got a foul there on T.J. Campbell. That's Campbell's second foul of the game. We'll see if Eric Levino takes him off the floor, and he will. Ito will come back in as we welcome you inside the Levy Center this afternoon. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday here in the Bay Area. Beautiful day. Greg Papa alongside Eric Musselman, former University of San Diego Torero. You were there, what, with Coach Bravelli and Coach Egan, right?
I got two coaches.
I know them both.
I ran one off, maybe they'll tell you.
Hank Egan, I knew him well during my time with the San Antonio Spurs on the bench with Greg Popovich, and now he's an assistant coach in Cleveland. Of course, Jim Bravelli is a USF Hall of Famer. There's a foul inside called on Scott Thompson, who was coming into the game, the redshirt freshman center, who was maybe going to take the pivot next year when John Bryant moves on to professional basketball. Nice wrapper-on entry pass there by Smelders into Knutson.
What can you get for 75 cents these days? The dull parts of a romance novel? One extra small latte? Or a complete package of the news you need from one of the Bay Area's best newspapers? Every day, we publish your best hometown paper, covered by the largest team of reporters, editors, and photojournalists in the entire Bay Area. For home delivery of your best local news, subscribe to one of the Bay Area's best newspapers. Call 1-877-BAY-NEWS. Saturday and Sunday on Golf Channel. 64 of the world's best will slug it out in the Arizona desert, where there's danger every step of the way. This is Match Play, Golf's March Madness. Lose, you go home. Who will be left standing at the WGC Accenture Match Play Championship? Find out Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern on Golf Channel.
My first week home was great. We had a party, small party.
2 o'clock in the morning, they were waiting for me.
My niece was waiting for me at the airport with a sign and balloons.
There was a huge sign across my front house, and it said, "Welcome home, Megan."
They lifted me up on their shoulders, and
First week back, people just said thank you. They just said thank you.
A new generation of veterans is coming home. Make a difference for them at welcomebackveterans.org.
Portland Pilots trying to get that number 2 seed, and they lead Santa Clara 22-15 with 8 minutes to go in the opening half. The official merchandise for the 2009 WCC Basketball Championships is now on sale at WCCSports.com. This is your chance to be the first to purchase all new sweatshirts, T-shirts, and WCC basketballs in preparation for the Conference Championship tournament coming up next weekend in Las Vegas. So visit WCCSports.com to get your souvenir from the WCC's first ever trip to Vegas. We're going to talk about Conference Player of the Year candidates today from St. Mary's. It would have been probably Patty Mills, but it turns out to be Diamond Simpson, who has averaged a double-double this year for Randy Bennett.
And really, as a coach, when you get a guy who defends like Diamond Simpson does, he gets you so many extra possessions off loose balls. He's a range rebounder. He doesn't just rebound his area. And since Mills was injured, he also has become much more offensive-minded. He's a well-rounded player who at this level is a defensive nightmare at that power forward position because of his quickness and activity.
Kramer Knutson. Rebound pulled by Scott Thompson. There are a lot of whispers coming out of Moraga that Patty Mills may not be healthy and may not be able to go next week in the WCC tournament. We shall see. That's certainly going to impact a lot of things. The Gales, who I think have played well enough without him, and certainly played great with him to make the NCAA tournament. Dowdell fumbles it out. Santa Clara in somewhat of an afternoon haze today, but here in late January went around Jeremy Pargo up in Spokane, and the kennel slipped down and thought it was not that big of a deal, but wound up breaking a bone in the hand. And now there's a lot of debate that he just may not be able to be back by next weekend.
And that makes the job of Mickey McConnell so important. He's done a great job as of late, and they need him to continue to play that point guard position like he has the last 3 games for the Gales.
Well, Randy Bennett will obviously do the wise thing with the career of Patty Mills and not bring him back too soon. In fact, Coach Bennett's probably in his office down in Loyola Marymount watching our broadcast today. Hello to Coach Bennett and David Patrick and Kyle Smith. Blocking foul inside called on Santa Clara, as the Gales are rooting for the Broncos today. If Portland loses this game, then the game tonight for St. Mary's, they'll still play it like they want to win, but it won't be a winner take all. If Portland wins this game today, Eric, as you know, then they're going to have to win tonight to get that number 2 seed.
And I think that's a 5 o'clock tip-off down in L.A., so they will know right about the time of their tip-off the outcome of this basketball game.
Which could impact the way they play the game. They're going to try to win it. Loyola obviously is having a horrible year. They are 2-11 in conference and 3-26 overall, but they would like to know if they absolutely have got to win it But if you're going to the NCAA tournament, you don't want to lose.
You got to win this. You got to win this.
Forget what I said. They're going to win it. They're going to go for the win tonight no matter what. Here's Ito coming out the other side. And Taishi Ito flips one up there and got it down. Portland has a 10-point lead.
And they need Ito to play well with Campbell's foul trouble right now.
Now Santa Clara is playing for the 4th seed, which is for the goal that Kerry Keating has been standing all year, is to get a bye in the tournament. But if they lose this game, then they cannot get number 4. San Diego would win all the tiebreakers. There's Ito just taking Rayhan off the dribble. Nobody stops him.
And what a tough shot, going to his left, and then he kind of scoops it up with his right hand.
Foster's trying. He's getting to the free throw line, but he has still not made a shot. He's 0 for 5 from the floor, and he's missed 3 3-point attempts. Very good free throw shooter. We were talking earlier about newcomers of the year, and it's one category, newcomer of the year, but he would be the freshman of the year in the conference if there was such a thing. There's no question this guy has had the best freshman campaign of anybody in this conference.
And you really have to like a player that understands, hey, he's struggling from the field. What's the best way to get points on the board for my team? Get to the free throw line and try to get as many FTAs attempted as I can.
And it'll come for him. He won't be cold the whole day. And the point total he has scored this year, the most of any Bronco freshman, bettering Kurt Rambis' total. Rivio goes up and scores over Calvin Johnson with a 2. And Portland shooting the ball extremely well. They lead by 10. They have hit on 57% of their shots here.
And a lost art, a one-dribble mid-range shot. Usually you see threes or dribble drives all the way to the basket. Ravio does a great job of one escape dribble, stop on a dime, hit the 15 to 17-foot jump shot. This is a lost art. A little jab step to the left, create a little space, hit the mid-range shot.
Foster picks up his dribble, had nowhere to go. Foster just looks in a fog today.
Again, when you're a scorer and trying to run offense and you're only a freshman, it's a lot of variables if you're getting pressured defensively. And both Portland point guards are doing a really, really good job of getting up into his pocket.
Foster is a tremendous athlete, great player. He'll be the future of this franchise, of this program after John Bryant graduates. And he's having a hard time getting in any kind of a rhythm today. Elvin Johnson against Rivio. Ito. Shot clock under 10, so Rivio likes to go himself at times like this. Quick crossover. And he fed it out to Ito. Ito's made 1 3-pointer all year. That was in Moraga against the Gales, but they get the offensive rebound and they'll come again.
Very unselfish play by Ravio to give that ball up to an open teammate in the corner.
DJ Porter in the starting lineup today. Over to Rivio. Elvin Johnson, a good defender.
Portland doing a great job of milking the shot clock and getting high percentage shots.
Sigma. Up and under move. He had a shot going to his left hand. Didn't take it, though, and came back into the middle.
He wanted to use his dad's move.
The step back?
The Sigma pump fake.
Well, his dad had one of the more signature shots. He had that high, reversed his pivot, and coiled it up behind his head like Silk Wilkes and shot behind his head. 7-time All-Star, so it worked for Jack in his brilliant 14-year NBA career. John Bryant, they get a double me. Up and under on Haggerty. Oh, he came out too strong. Good move by John, but shot it too hard.
I like the minutes that Haggerty's given Portland. You know, he's a big body. He actually makes Bryant look small at some point. He's forcing him way out on the block. 2 steps off the post. Not really biting for pump fakes. Bryant's got great footwork, however. But again, not a made basket. Fouls him hard enough to put him to the foul line.
When John Bryant arrived here 4 years ago, he was known as Big John because he was enormously big. He may have been as high as 360. He weighed in officially at 350, but he's trimmed down to 275. The guy's almost lost 100 pounds. But today, he's not the biggest John on the floor. John Haggerty is way bigger.
You know what's interesting is talking to both head coaches and to hear the pride that they have in their strength coaches and their strength program. Santa Clara strength coach from the University of Florida, Portland strength coach from USC. 2 great strength programs implemented here.
Now, some guys had to take weight off, some guys had to put weight on, but they all did it in the offseason.
What can you get for 75 cents these days? The dull parts of a romance novel? 1 extra small latte? Or a complete package of the news you need from one of the Bay Area's best newspapers? Every day, we publish your best hometown paper, covered by the largest team of reporters, editors, and photojournalists in the entire Bay Area. For home delivery of your best local news, subscribe to one of the Bay Area's best newspapers. Call 1-877-BAY-NEWS.
Their BMW didn't make it home. But they did. Winner of a 5-star crash test rating and a top safety pick award. What makes BMW an unrivaled value? Find out at BayAreaBMW.com.
Are you watching that skateboarding kitten video again, Larry?
I like kittens.
Larry, you have access to over 100,000 real video clips at Comcast.net from providers like Fox Sports, CBS News, and E! Entertainment.
I didn't know that.
Now you know.
Do they have stuff with kittens?
Enough with the kittens, Larry.
Over 100,000 video clips from trusted news and entertainment sources, only at Comcast.net.
Welcome back inside the Levy Center, completely renovated again this year. We're right next door to Buckshaw Stadium, which is the home of the San Jose Earthquakes, and Major League Soccer will return to Comcast Sportsnet California coming up on Saturday, March the 21st at 7:30 when the Earthquakes host the New England Revolution. And opening night will be right here on the Santa Clara campus at Buckshaw Stadium with John Schrader on the call. Revolution and the Earthquakes coming up in 3 weeks. the 21st night of March at 7:30, only here on Comcast Sportsnet, California.
Greg, Santa Clara coming out of this timeout needs Bryant and Foster to get some type of offensive rhythm. Between the two, they're 1 of 10, and that's their go-to players. So that's why they're struggling right now with 19 first-half points.
John's 1 for 5. Foster's not made a shot. He's 0 for 5. Into Bryant, tipped out of there by Luke Sigma. They are struggling on offense, to be sure. But Santa Clara, many games, does struggle on offense, but they're usually rock solid on defense. I think what Kerry Keating has most got to be disappointed with is the way his team has defended so far in the first half.
And Portland's shooting a high percentage at 57% from the field, but even offensively, they're not moving the ball as crisply as they have. They only have 3 assists up to this point in the ball game.
Maybe it's this 3 o'clock tip-off after playing that feisty game with Gonzaga on Thursday night. They're a little slow to wake today. Got time. Shot clock down. Crowd will help him. Rayhan is trapped, and he threw it off of Knutson.
What a great double team. 2 people defending the ball with their feet touching each other. Both players squeeze with their feet, hands active. That's a great double team.
Well, they're well coached. Quick pop live, and Rayhan makes the 3. Great inbounds play there for Rayhan, who was keeping them in this game with his offense as Foster and Big John have struggled. Rayhan has 10 points here.
Rayhan and Trasolini both with 3 field goals.
These Portland big men are very well coached by Eric Reveneau, who was coached by some of the greats in college basketball, Dr. Tom Davis and Mike Montgomery at Stanford. And then when he became a coach, he coached just a litany of Stanford big men. Mark Madsen, the Collins twins, Curtis Borchard, Tim Young, Rob Little, Justin Davis, Matt Harrius. So he has really taken a lot of what he learned and was able to put on the court and taken it to his big men. Again, Foster continues to struggle here, trying to cross over. Just got it locked up in a sloppy turnover.
And that's what happens when you're learning to play the point position and you're a natural scorer. You mentioned, Greg, that coaching tree with Mike Montgomery. Also, Stu Morrill at Utah State was with Mike Montgomery at Montana, and what a tree that's turned into. The head coach at Weber State was under Stu, so it's been a real interesting combination how the Montgomery tree does not get talked enough about, in my opinion.
And Mike has a big game coming up against the UCLA Bruins. It'll tip off in a couple of hours. We are going to talk to Eric Reveneau, by the way, coming up at halftime. Coach Reveneau was a finalist for the Stanford job this offseason, and of course went to Johnny Dawkins. And we'll also check in with the great Carol Williams, who has quite an honor coming up next weekend of the WCC tournament. He's going into the Hall of Honor. Bodies flying all over the place. Knutson hits the deck here, and Santa Clara will take it back here with 2.5 to play in the half. Despite that, their poor play on both ends, the Broncos are down only 5.
They're hanging around, which is what you need to do at home, and hope that your star offensive players eventually break out of their funk.
Foul on Kramer Knutson on that play, his first of the afternoon. Trasolini hands off to Rayhan. Rayhan, they took the post entry away. Look at Sigma come over to take it away from John Bryant.
They're doing a good job of sandwiching Bryant.
Foster still can't get one. And they're not even close. He is splattering them all off the rim, but nothing near.
What a rebounder Ravio is at that guard position. He leads the WCC from the guard spot in rebounding.
It's 6.5 a game. Backdoor cut there by Ravio. Those are a pair of second-generation players. That is Luke Sigma, Jackson, hitting Ravio on the backdoor cut. Of course, his dad, speaking of rebounder, he was the all-time leading rebounder in University of Portland history. But he can shoot. Coming off a curl. Rebound to Foster. Foster needs a run out or something here to get himself going. Hands off to Rayhan. Back to Foster. Foster will take it in. Didn't get it. He's got to go inside, though. His jump shot is just not there yet.
He's really not even handling the ball cleanly. He's had several bobbles, hasn't gotten a good look. And unfortunately for him in the second half, he's going to have Campbell come back in without the foul trouble.
That's a good point. Campbell went out to a couple of fouls. And Santa Clara actually has trimmed the lead down a little bit, but they just did not get any flow going. So Big John Bryant will be on the free throw line, and for a big guy, he has a very soft shooting touch. He's a 77% free throw shooter. Is he the West Coast Conference Player of the Year, this John Bryant? We already discussed the candidacy of Diamond Simpson. How about Portland's top candidate, Nick Rivio, who was the fourth leading scorer in the conference at almost 16 a game?
Well, the fact that he can score the ball mid-range, can create off the dribble for himself, and the fact that he rebounds. And then you look at Portland was a team that many projected to finish right around that 6th spot, and they're playing today to be the number 2 seed. So he has had such a big impact on an overachieving ball club. So he's got to be in this consideration when you talk about the different players who could get the award of Player of the Year in their conference.
So another Rivio may win a West Coast Conference Player of the Year award. His older brother Derek, a 3-year starter at Gonzaga, was the Conference Player of the Year his senior year, now playing professional basketball in Germany. Now here's John Bryant. We mentioned he's a very good free throw shooter. He's a 77% free throw shooter, shoots about 5 a game. Look at how he has improved year to year as a rebounder. Of course, he's playing more and more minutes as well, Coach, which is a big reason why.
And you add in the fact that he's lost weight, gotten in better physical condition, and his minutes have gone up because he's in better physical condition and is able to play longer stretches.
9-2 run. As badly as they played, they're down only 3, Santa Clara. Jared Stoll gets trapped. Sigma, I think that pass was going to Ito, but with his great hands, he tried to pluck it. Shot clock at 14 for Ito. Good look to Sigma. No. A foul late there as Bryant got the rebound. Boy, Luke Sigma had a great opening there for a dunker, a stronger thrust to the rim, and he missed a lay-in.
He did, and what Santa Clara is doing on the middle pick and roll, they are forcing it weak, which means the weak hand to the left, and that's opening up that alley on the left block, but Portland's bigs have got to finish inside.
If the foul was called on Trasolini, not sure how that happened. So Sigma's going to be on the free throw line. I thought the Broncos already secured the rebound and the foul was on Portland, but they called it the other way, and it's on Trasolini, so Sigma's on the line. Let's take a look and see. Trasolini's number 15.
Late whistle.
On that? Oh, man.
That's a tough call.
Wow. And it was obviously not a lot of contact there, but you hit on the part that really angers coaches. It was late. It was too late. Bryant already cleared the rebound.
And you ask yourself as a coach, would have they made that call if the shot goes in? Probably not. So it's not a foul. Just because a player misses a chippy doesn't mean you put him on the foul line.
It's an afternoon early start for the officials as well. We had a couple of curious calls on the Broncos. Bryant goes down in slow motion. Bryant went down harder here against Josh Heitfeld. On Thursday, it looked like he was limping around, and he's limping as he gets back here. Jared Stoll, you cannot give him any opening. Bryant fired out enough to make him miss. Final seconds here. They'll play for 1 here. Portland will. Shot clock is on, but just barely needed. Porter's a left-hander. Got a crowd. Stoll, he's a great shooter. Shot clock at 15. Ito takes a look over to Eric Revenue, who has a play call.
Middle pick and roll.
Jason Hannibal sets the screen. Sigma into Hannibal, who's not real good in there. And the rebound goes to Foster, takes a peek at the clock. If he makes this, that'll turn his half around. Another shot up, though. Kevin Foster did not make a shot in the first half. With that one, he was 0 for 8. But if you're Kerry Keating, you're saying it's senior day. Bryant's playing horribly. Foster's playing horribly. But we're down only 4.
Something's got to break after halftime. Take the lid off the rim, Greg.
I'd like to be in their locker room and hear what he has to say about his team's play.
Their BMW didn't make it home. But they did. Winner of a 5-star crash test rating and a top safety pick award. What makes BMW an unrivaled value? Find out at BayAreaBMW.com.
What can you get for 75 cents these days? The dull parts of a romance novel? One extra small latte? Or a complete package of the news you need from one of the Bay Area's best newspapers? Every day, we publish your best hometown paper, covered by the largest team of reporters, editors, and photojournalists in the entire Bay Area. For home delivery of your best local news, subscribe to one of the Bay Area's best newspapers. Call 1-877-BAY-NEWS.
Who will advance to the dance? The West Coast Conference Men's and Women's Basketball Championships head to the bright lights of Las Vegas and the Orleans Arena on March 6th through the 9th. Don't miss your opportunity to see 2008 NCAA tournament participants Gonzaga, St. Mary's, and San Diego battle Loyola Marymount, Pepperdine, Portland, San Francisco, and Santa Clara for the right to advance to the 2009 NCAA Men's and Women's Basketball tournaments. Buy your tickets now at WCCSports.com.
They're out there, Michael.
Who's out there?
The hackers, the viruses. But don't worry. As a Comcast high-speed internet customer, you can download the McAfee Security Suite. It gives you protection against identity theft, viruses, and more.
I didn't know that.
Now you know.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome, man.
Get the McAfee Security Suite for no additional charge. That's a $120 value. Go to Comcast.net/security.
Eric Revenue's Portland Pilots just continue to roll after a pair of 9-win years back-to-back. They're trying to get their 19th win for the coach here in his third year. I sat down with Eric Revenue, the former Stanford Cardinal, and we touch on a lot of subjects. My first question to him is, Mike Montgomery loves to tell the story, and when Revenue was playing for Stanford, he was warming up for a game against Cal at Haas Pavilion, and the Straw Hat Band came too far onto the floor, and Eric threw a ball at the Straw Hat Band, and I asked Coach Revenue, is that story actually true?
Yes. I mean, I could give you a longer version of an answer. They used to march around us, and I didn't whip it. We're doing our old pass-back drill that they do layup lines, and I just kind of threw behind my guy a little bit, and, I just kind of hit a guy in the arm there while I was blowing
intentionally threw behind him? Or?
Yeah, but just enough so I could always claim. I think there's a statute of limitations on that, so I can come clean now. I don't know if the Berkeley police can do anything about it, but no, they got us good every time over there. That was my one small success.
But that's the way you played. You were a little mean, a little nasty, very focused, very smart. Obviously, you could have done a lot of different things in life with your academic background, 4 years over in Japan. I mean, you could have done something else. Why did you choose this profession?
Because the things you were describing is my passion. The reason I played that way was because it just meant so much to me to compete on a team, to be a part of something special. That Stanford team in 1989 was just a wonderful team experience. To go to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 47 years and overachieve as a group. That was special, and I've been touched by some great coaches. My high school coach, Al Klein, Bud Presley was at Menlo College, Pete Newell, Mike Montgomery, Trent John. I just been touched by all these coaches. I knew that that's what I love to do, and to be happy and successful, I decided to go for it and be a coach. And this year we're doing it. This team is a good team. It's a fun team to coach, and I've really enjoyed it.
You mentioned some of the coaches, Dr. Tom Davis for a couple of years. Then you had, of course, Mike Montgomery, both playing for him and on his staff, and then Trent Johnson. What did you impart from these guys? And you also mentioned Pete Newell. Where did you come into contact with Coach Newell?
I used to work the big man camp with him, and that's just like sitting there with just a wise old man, just imparting wisdom in everything he says. And from Coach Newell, I learned teaching, the specificity of teaching and being precise, and the importance of really correcting and being really precise and having a reason for it. From Tom Davis, I learned about competing and passion and different styles of play. With Coach Montgomery, I learned the main thing I learned was the importance of putting players in position to be successful. Our job as coaches is to put them in position to be successful. I appreciate your kind words about my way of my playing. I took them as kind words.
I meant them kind.
Okay, good. Well, but like setting screens, scoring around the basket is what I could do. And so he put me in those positions to do that. Instead of focusing on players' limitations, focus on what they can do and build a team and get the parts. And so seeing that whole big picture from Coach Montgomery, I learned, as well as preparation. No one was better that I've ever been around in terms of, between a Thursday and a Saturday game. That Friday, you've got the assistant coach hands you a list of 10 things that this team can do that can hurt you. Well, you've got to choose as a head coach. You've got to choose which of those things you can work on that will have a positive impact on the game. Some of those you can't do anything. They're really quick, or, John Bryant's really big, and that's going to present problems. What can we do about it, and making those choices, So I learned a lot from those coaches, and it's just so when to be a coach now is I find myself, I sometimes wonder if I ever have an original thought. You learn from so much. You learn from watching good tapes. We run some offense that we stole from when we were scouting Duke to prepare to play them, and we run some mistakes. So you steal from everybody, and I just really love the opportunity to coach these guys.
Eric Remino will turn 43 years of age next month, one of the great young minds in the college game. When we come back, we're going to talk to a Hall of Famer, the great Carol Williams, here from Santa Clara.
Living in Cramples Gap, there's really nothing much to do but work.
People work hard. Everybody's got to work hard. Got to survive. I think everybody needs a break.
And welcome to Las Vegas.
We're going to tear it up, dude. Drink some drinks. Try and get some ladies, burn it down, leave ashes.
This trip has been one of the best experiences of all time.
From a culture that celebrates the individual to the individual who celebrates life. From a faith that inspires compassion to the compassionate who live their faith. From the fields where champions compete to a world in need of more champions. From classrooms rich in tradition to a tradition of service and leadership. University of Portland, difference makers, then, now, forever.
What's this jacket mean to me? It means a year of giving back, taking responsibility, setting an example. City Year.
City Year. A year when I will make a difference.
In my community and in my own life.
City Year.
The best year. The best year of my life.
In a lifetime of service.
This jacket,
inspiring, transforming,
is something I had to earn.
City Year.
City Year.
City Year!
Is this your year?
Sports are great for a kid's body. Steroids aren't. They can ruin tendons in legs and arms. Steroids can stunt bone growth and increase the chances of liver cancer, heart attack, and stroke. Steroids don't make great athletes. They destroy them. Talk to your kids. Need help? Get help. Visit drugfree.org.
Long before Steve Nash became a two-time NBA MVP, he was a two-time West Coast Conference Player of the Year. As part of the 2009 WCC Basketball Championships in Las Vegas, the conference will be hosting its inaugural Hall of Honor brunch. That'll be next Saturday, a week from today, at the Orleans Arena. For more details on this event and the way to purchase tickets for the Hall of Honor brunch, you can visit the conference's website at WCCSports.com or call the conference office at 650-873-8622. From the University of Portland, their great soccer coach, both men and women, Clive Charles, and from Santa Clara University, my next guest, speaking of great coaches, the great Carol Williams is alongside the all-time winningest coach in the history of the program here, 344 in 22 years. Congratulations to you, and do you have your speech ready for next Saturday?
Well, not really.
You try it out on me here.
Well, I'm really honored. It's new. I think it's brought a lot of focus to the league. There's some wonderful guys going, and I'm really anxious to see my friend Tom Masheri.
Good guy.
He and I played on the Olympic trials in 1960 together in the same team, the Peoria Caterpillars in Denver. So it'll give us a chance to reminisce. But there's some other really wonderful people that contribute a lot to this terrific league.
And it's a great honor that you get to go in with the inaugural class.
Absolutely, I'm thrilled.
Let me ask you about what you're doing right now. I know you have some involvement with the NIT tournament.
Correct.
What exactly are you doing for the NIT?
Well, the NIT has been purchased and taken over by the NCAA, and so it's an NCAA-run event. And so what they've done is they've taken a number of old coaches that have been around for a few years, old geezers like
Former
myself.
coaches.
Former coaches, okay. All right, so that's better. C.M. Newton is the chair of the committee, and we've had Dean Smith and Gene Cady, myself, and a number of other guys that have contributed a lot to basketball and are retired now. And we formed this committee, and we're we're running the NIT very similar to the NCAA selection committee. So teams are rated. We're privy to all the information that the NCAA selection committee has in terms of evaluating teams, and so we meet at the same time and as the selection committee does for the NCAA tournament, and we're ready to announce our selections right after that.
So 65 go to the NCAA tournament. You take the next 32
we'll
in
take
theory.
32, except we will take conference champions who lose in their tournament and don't get selected for the NCAA. Teams historically from the SWAC and the MEAC conferences, maybe even American East. But last year we had 8 teams like that, so it cuts the field a little bit in terms of the higher quality. But it's all great, and we give teams a chance that don't get to go to that NCAA tournament. They're taken into this field.
Let me ask you quickly, the University of Portland, would they be somebody you're looking at for the NIT possibly?
Well, they're certainly on our radar at this stage. Each one of our committee members have a number of leagues that we oversee. I have the West Coast Conference, the Pac-10, the Big Sky, and the Big West, and I've been very busy all year long watching teams play, and we continue to evaluate them with conference calls each week. And so we know who's on our radar screen, and I've alerted the committee to Portland. They're second in our league. Certainly St. Mary's and Gonzaga, should they not be in the NCAA field, but we kind of think maybe both or certainly one of those will make the team. So
Eric Revenow's a very impressive young coach, as is Kerry Keating. Got to be impressed with the job he has done here.
Yeah,
Coach.
I love that interview with Eric. I recruited him a long time ago, and we weren't successful, but I can understand.
Santa Clara, Stanford.
Yeah, he's a great man. He's a good guy.
Either way, you can't lose. Coach, thank you so much. You look great.
Nice to see you, Greg.
Congratulations on the Hall of Fame honor. He's going into the inaugural class of the West Coast Conference Hall of Honor. The great Carol Williams here at Santa Clara University.
Living in Cramples Gap, there's really nothing much to do but work.
People work hard. Everybody's got to work hard. Got to survive. I think everybody needs a break.
And welcome to Las Vegas.
We're going to tear it up, dude. Drink some drinks, try and get some ladies, burn it down, leave ashes.
This is awesome. This trip has been one of the best experiences of all time.
From a culture that celebrates the individual to the individual who celebrates life. From a faith that inspires compassion to the compassionate who live their faith. From the fields where champions compete to a world in need of more champions. From classrooms rich in tradition to a tradition of service and leadership. University of Portland, difference makers, then, now, forever.
What is it about Gary Radnitz that makes him so compelling?
No tight shots, young man.
His good manners.
Tell me something I don't know.
His gracious demeanor.
I'm not going to put up with that crap.
His natural congeniality.
I'm just going to go out in the street and just hoot and holler. Drinks for everybody, right here.
It may just come down to
what is more likely to keep you tuned in.
The Gary Radnitz Show, Sports Talk, weekdays from 9 a.m. to noon on Comcast Sportsnet California.
Man, that's good.
In this economy, cutting costs is top of the list for small businesses. Switching to Comcast is the cut that actually gets you more. Unlimited nationwide calling, really fast internet, Microsoft Outlook email, tools that keep your business competitive affordably. Call 866-664-0777 and get phone and internet for just $99, an incredible savings. Cut costs, not corners. Switch to Comcast Business Class.
Well, T.J. Campbell played only the game's first 8 minutes, and they had a 10-point lead when he went out. Santa Clara was able to come back. So if you're Santa Clara, you're thinking he played so poorly in the first half, we're down only 4. But if you're Coach Revenot, you're thinking T.J. Campbell only played 8 minutes in the half, and we'll play better in the second half. Greg Papa rejoined by Eric Musselman. We talked about T.J. Campbell at the beginning of the telecast today, and he certainly lived up to expectations. He played extremely well until he got that second foul.
He really did. He defended when he was on the floor. He did a great job of shot selection, taking three-point shots with his feet set, and he opened up that game with the lob pass, which I thought opens things up for him on the perimeter as well.
Meanwhile, for Santa Clara, John Bryant here on Senior Day struggled, and Kevin Foster struggled even more. He was 0 for 7. It was 0 for 4 beyond the line. But James Rayon, the other freshman, this one from San Diego, he kept Santa Clara in the game.
He really did. He came out with a lot of confidence early in the game, shot the ball well from three, and did a good job of taking the ball to the basket, not only with his right hand, but he did get some dribble penetration going the opposite way as well.
All right, Santa Clara did not play well in the opening 20 minutes. They have a big 20 against Rivio when we come back.
Will advance to the dance. The West Coast Conference Men's and Women's Basketball Championships head to the bright lights of Las Vegas and the Orleans Arena on March 6th through the 9th. Don't miss your opportunity to see 2008 NCAA tournament participants Gonzaga, St. Mary's, and San Diego battle Loyola Marymount, Pepperdine, Portland, San Francisco, and Santa Clara for the right to advance to the 2009 NCAA Men's and Women's Basketball tournaments. Buy your tickets now at WCCSports.com.
Living in Cramples Gap, there's really nothing much to do but work.
People work hard. Everybody's got to work hard. Got to survive. I think everybody needs a break.
And welcome to Las Vegas.
We're going to tear it up, dude. Drink some drinks, try and get some ladies, burn it down, leave ashes.
This trip has been one of the best experiences of all time.
Gary Radnich is now on Comcast Sportsnet California.
I'm on 1.5 hours sleep today. I will not go into detail.
It's Sports Talk.
I'm laughing already. Go ahead.
Radnich style.
You're on with middle-aged men getting off. Yes, Rick.
Spend some quality time with Gary.
At 11 o'clock, the return of the Hall of Famer right here.
The Gary Radnich Show.
Beats getting a job, doesn't it, Matt?
Weekdays from 9 a.m. to noon, only on Comcast Sportsnet California.
That's great knowledge.
So lame.
And I'll bet he'll ask you for your real name or your address or something. Bam. Told ya.
Classic. Watch how fast I block him. Oh, and check this out. If I click this guy gets reported.
Really? Mm-hmm. You're like an internet cop.
I'm just doing my job, ma'am.
Be smart. Know how to react. Would your child know what to do? For more information, go to pointsmartclicksafe.org.
West Coast Conference Basketball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Adidas, the official apparel and footwear provider for Santa Clara men's basketball. By the Bronco Bench Foundation, supporting student-athlete scholarships at Santa Clara University for over 45 years. And by Farmers Insurance. For an agent near you, call 1-800-FARMERS. Santa Clara's lost his 3 home games all year. This is the last one ever for Big John Bryant. He has had a very poor game. John, who gives you a double-double almost every single game. He made 4 free throws, but just 1 basket in the first half, 6 points. He's their inside presence, the outside presence of Kevin Foster. He played even more poorly. He was 0 for 7, and he also turned the ball over 5 times.
So if you're Coach Keating right now, you got to be feeling good. Your team has not played very well offensively. You're only down 4. You know your 2 primary scorers cannot shoot the ball any worse than they did in the first half. So who knows what happens here in the second half.
But if I'm Eric Revenue, I'm saying my best player, T.J. Campbell, only played 8 minutes because he picked up 2 fouls. Now I got him back. I'm going to run him off a double screen, curl him off the right side for a 3, and he's got to make that. Rebound to John Bryant. Both coaches, I think, are feeling, well, we wanted our best in the first half. Portland was decidedly better, but we'll play better now when it comes down the stretch here to win this game. And it's a very important game for both schools. Bryant comes out of a double.
And that's what you want if you're a Bronco fan. You want that ball deep inside. Bryant did an excellent job of shielding off the defender, catching the ball on the baseline side.
I'm sure that's the way they'll go. Into John, try to create a double team, then back out to Foster and Rayhan and see if Foster can get going that way. Rivio bumped by Foster, still made a tough shot. Actually, it was Calvin Johnson who was defending him and bodying him up all the way in.
He does a great job of putting the ball on the deck and scoring.
Here's Trasolini. What a great shooter he is. He had a tremendous shooting night last Saturday in Memorial Gym against USF. Came back with another solid one here against Gonzaga on Thursday. Trasolini was 6 of 7 from the floor, scoring 14 points. In his previous 2 games, he was 14 of 16. Backdoor cut, and they beat John Bryant there. Kramer and Knudsen on the pass by Smelders, the two big guys for Portland playing a high-low game.
Portland loves to throw that ball up to the side of the rim on the big man high-low pass.
Foster, another miss. Foster cannot get dejected. Actually, Kerry Keating yelled at him to get back defensively. T.J. Campbell found a three. I think he's going to take Foster off the floor here. After he missed that shot, he was clearly disappointed with it. He stopped playing for a moment, and I think Keating's going to pull him here.
He needs to regroup, but you would hope that what would happen at halftime.
He's trying. He did not go to the floor there to pick up that loose ball, Foster. Smelders couldn't finish. Rebound to John Bryant. Foster to Rayhan. Rayhan with all purple jerseys in his way will wisely back away here. Of course, Foster's role is not just to score. He's the point guard now. So if he's not scoring, he's got to get other guys good shots.
And not turn the ball over. Those 5 turnovers is really like 10 potential points.
Air ball by Bryant. He is claiming he was bodied up there by Knudsen, who was playing him well. Raivio, they're not going to stop Raivio. They'll just shoot it on you. Rebound to Knudsen. Portland's playing much livelier today. Look at them get the loose balls. Santa Clara looks like they're stuck in mud.
Very inactive on the backboards especially, and their transition defense right now is not as quick as it needs to be from end to end.
And frankly, this game, it's an important game for both schools, but it's more important for Santa Clara in the aspect that they need a Gonzaga win tonight, which is probable. They never lose in conference play, where Portland actually needs a St. Mary's loss to Loyola, which is highly improbable. I know they don't worry about that kind of stuff, but Santa Clara just has no sense of urgency so far today.
And really, your last home game is when you would think that there would be a lot of emotion headed into the tournament type format.
By sweeping changes for both coaches, Foster got pulled out. He has made 2 free throws, but 8 missed shots and 6 turnovers. This guy has had a tremendous freshman year, a brilliant freshman year, but he is just struggling today.
And his body language is not what it should be either. What's happened has happened. You got to refocus, come back in when the coaching staff puts you in.
Down jumper. Coach Keating pulled not only Foster out, but he pulled John Bryant out and James Rayhan. Went to 3 new guys off the bench. Perry Petty, Dowdell is in. Actually, Rayhan continues in. Ball was tipped away by Trasolini and stolen by Dowdell.
Dowdell is a high-energy player who will bring that extra effort and hopefully create some extra possessions for the Broncos.
Delvin Johnson also playing his final game. He wears the right jersey number, shoots a lot of threes. Haggerty got so deep, so big, there was nothing Dowdell could do after he caught the ball.
The sign of an effective player is when you play your minutes, and that's what Haggerty's doing. He catches the ball down low. He's a non-mistake player. Defensively, he's clogging up the lane, and he's giving them a little bit of added offense that's probably not expected.
Now, he scored a big basket the other night in their loss against San Diego. And a layup, a pass inside by Smelders, and he gets a basket here.
And he took a little leave of absence as well during the middle of the season.
He had a personal problem which took him away for the first semester. He got back in time for the start of the second semester and essentially began practicing with the team again when the conference schedule began. And his first playing time came against St. Mary's a few weeks ago. Bad shot there by Perry Petty. Santa Clara just out of sorts today. Garrett Stoll, what a great shooter he is. Portland's got an 11-point lead.
Portland does an excellent job of finding their shooters, and their shooters catching in their range.
Rebound Trasolini. Rayhan into Dowdell. Andrews foul. But it may take those 3. Dowdell, Trasolini, and Rayhan, who are clearly playing at an amped-up level than their teammates to get the Broncos back in the game.
They are the lively ones and the ones that they need to continue to play well.
Steroids can really damage your body. They can cause tendons to tear, and bones to stop growing, damage kidneys, destroy the liver, even cause heart attacks and strokes. Not to mention something else they can do to a guy's body. Find out more about the dangers of using steroids. Visit drugfree.org.
What you looking at?
Oh, I'm just on adultfriendfinder.com.
Haha, very funny, Michael.
Actually, my assignment in biology is on the reproductive system. So I was kind of worried some pretty gnarly stuff would come up in my searches, but it didn't. I'm actually learning in a kid-safe environment.
See? Aren't you glad we installed those parental controls from the cable company?
Yeah, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but you were right.
Yes, sweet victory.
Parents have options. Find out more about parental controls at pointsmartclicksafe.org.
On March 2nd,
It's time to shock the world.
Golf Channel launches the ultimate experiment. Charles Barkley is on a mission to fix his swing.
It's worse than bad.
So we brought in the world's #1 swing coach.
I want to see him get the last laugh.
Unscripted.
No.
Uncensored.
Oh,
unreal.
God bless my mother.
The Haney Project, Charles Barkley, begins Monday, March 2nd, only on Golf Channel.
Fans, don't miss out on all the action of the 2009 WCC Men's and Women's Basketball Championships next weekend in Las Vegas. A limited number of single session tickets will be available beginning this Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. To purchase single session tickets, call the Orleans Arena ticket office at 888-834-2234. The Big John Bryant family are here and very proud of Big John. Born in Berkeley, grew up in San Pablo, went to Pinole Valley High School. It was his AAU coach in high school that directed him to Dick Davey in the Santa Clara program. And he's having a struggle today, but he's one of the greatest Broncos of all time. And they've had quite a few of them. Dennis Autry and Kurt Rambis and Kenny Sears, Nick Vanos and Bob Feerick, some great big men played here, and John Bryant will be proudly in that group as well.
And Bryant's still on the bench, and that really doesn't have anything to do with foul trouble at all, as he only has one foul.
Dowdell came in, made a three-point play. He leaves, and now Scott Thompson will come in to match up with John Haggerty. 8-point Portland at lead. Jared Stoll to Luke Sikma. Nice passing to Haggerty. Haggerty took a moment to gather. He almost traveled. Did not score, but he got fouled. Nice pass by Sikma.
Their bigs do a very, very good job of passing the ball to each other. You know, Greg, a guy who's had an impact on this game right now and really is not even looking to score, he hasn't taken a field goal, is B.J. Porter. He's got long arms, he's gotten a lot of loose balls for him, and he's defending his position. A role player who's having an impact on the game without scoring the ball.
Only a sophomore from Layton, Utah. Didn't play last year. He had a knee injury and redshirted. Very good defender starting today for Ethan Niedermeyer. Coach Revenos said, I may put him on Foster later in the game. Right now he's got T.J. Campbell matching up with Foster, who was back in the game. John Bryant is back in the game. We see if their games return as well. They've been well off their game today. Back there. Out to Rehan trying to feed the post. And a foul. Haggerty a little too physical with John Bryant. Well, he is one big guy. Haggerty is 7 feet, 320 pounds. Little push.
And Haggerty doing a good job. You want to let that premier offensive player know that, hey, there's a big body behind you. Use up your fouls. He's not going to play a lot of minutes, so he can get physical.
And as you said, he's playing his minutes. You may see him later in the game. Coach Revenos may go to Haggerty for a minute or two later in the game down the stretch. Right now he takes a rest. Knutsen's back in along with Sikma, with Jared Stoll, T.J. Campbell, and D.J. Porter for the Pilots. Rehan. Calvin Johnson. Foster's open in the wing. Foster trying to take it in. Good defense by Stoll, and Calvin Johnson stepped out of bounds. Well, you see that happen with players trying to get lined up to shoot threes. where there's not as much room on the baselines, and just step back, and he stepped out.
Unless you're Ray Allen, stay in bounds, please. I mean, you cannot have that type of turnover when you're down 10 with 14 minutes to play. Shots on goal. You've got to have shots on goal and get attempts at the field goal.
11 turnovers for Santa Clara. Mitch Richmond, when he was a Golden State Warrior, he would do that like once again his rookie year. He needed a wider court. Rivio, Campbell. But Campbell is built, just elevates right up so smoothly. Right now, the story of this game is T.J. Campbell is outplaying Kevin Foster. Santos got trapped. The Pilots are outplaying the Broncos, really, in all aspects. They've been better.
Campbell really has a game similar to Jameer Nelson. He's got the same body. He goes wherever he wants with the ball, and he makes threes.
Niedermeyer. Foul. Knutson went over the top, trying to tip that rebound out, so he gets called for a foul. So does that mean that T.J. Campbell has a chance to play in the NBA one day, or just a similar?
I should say a poor man's Jameer Nelson. The WCC's Jameer Nelson.
All right. Well, I do see the physical similarities, the stylistic similarities, but I don't know if T.J.'s quite good enough to play in the NBA at 5'7". How tall is Jameer? He's a little bigger than that.
He's about 5'10".
Blocked. John Bryant had his shot blocked. There's Rivio. Rivio on Rayhan all the way in, and he's called for the foul. On his pick, Knutson picks up another foul. That's 4 on Kramer Knutson. But Jason Hannibal will have to come in now for Eric Reveneau. He got a couple, one a loose ball foul, and here on the pick that he set. So Kramer Knutson's off the floor for probably the game's next 9 or 10 minutes.
On back-to-back plays, neither coaching staff happy.
He was moving. He was not set there. I think it's a good call, don't you?
It's an excellent call. As a ball handler, you've got to understand if the screen is set as well.
T.J. Campbell had that deflect off his leg in the backcourt. Foster picks it back up. Campbell's just bodying up Foster. He's quicker. He picks up the foul there, but his feet are moving quicker than Foster's right now. Although that could be a tough call. Campbell picks up his third bus.
As a coach, you've got to love the tenacity of Campbell, but there's still 12 and a half minutes to play, almost 13 minutes. You need him on the floor to close the game out.
He thought he was going back to Sunny Slope High School when he was playing bump and run coverage as a cornerback. Did he get another one?
He sure did.
Oh, man. Campbell just picked up numbers 3 and 4 back-to-back.
And on dead ball situations, Portland gets out of their man-to-man and goes to this 1-3-1 trapping type defense. And both times out of the non-man-to-man defense, he picked up 2 fouls, both unnecessary. They weren't off dribble penetration. The fouls were not in scoring area. So as a coach, you do not want to see those fouls 35, 40 feet from the basket when your man is not in an offensive mode to try to look to score.
So here's Kevin Foster. The only points he has scored today has been from the free throw line. He is 0 for 8 from the floor, 0 for 4 on three-pointers, but he has made 3 free throws. And Santa Clara's moved into the bonus, so they may be able to free throw their way back into this game. 10-point game with 12 and a half to play. So they've lost Knutson with 4 fouls. Now they've lost a second starter and their point guard, a great orchestrator, T.J. Campbell. He's going to run the team here. Taishi Ito comes to the plate point, but Rivio will also do it at times. He was a point guard at times last year. High pick and roll, he goes away from it. Luke Sipma. John Bryant got a piece of that, and it deflected over to Santos. Santa Clara's got to come now if they're going to get back into the game. Right into Bryant, and Hannibal knocks it away.
Santa Clara really needs to focus on getting free throws attempted because the clock stops on free throws and they're in the bonus. So you want to really try to get the ball either off the dribble to the rim or inside to Bryant to try to get free throws attempted.
Quick one to Trasolini. Trasolini is just a very good shooter. They kind of lose him in their offensive flow. Maybe they need to accentuate the young man from British Columbia more today.
And he's not really a go-to guy. He gets things off broken plays, moving without the ball.
He's the perfect complement to a post scorer like Bryant. Jared Stoll well defended by Rahal. Hannibal out of the double to Niedermeyer. Ito into Smelders. Smelders goes up with a right hand and rolled out. Niedermeyer saved it, but to the wrong color jersey. Santos charging on Foster, picked up by Ito. What a collision that was. He ran right over him.
Ito's playing his minutes too. He did a great job in the first half holding the fort, and here he's doing a great job as well.
Santa Clara University, founded in 1851, is California's oldest institution of higher education. Located 40 miles south of San Francisco in the heart of Silicon Valley, Santa Clara is a Jesuit university that educates its 8,700 undergraduate and graduate students to be leaders of competence, conscience, and compassion, and is distinguished nationally by the second highest graduation rate among all master's universities in the United States.
Every one of us knows someone who has been affected by cancer. More than 1.5 million Americans will be diagnosed with cancer this year alone. Each one of them faces new challenges and decisions. I'm Patrick Dempsey, and I know firsthand how dealing with cancer can impact someone's life. My mother is a 2-time ovarian cancer survivor. Our entire family rallied together to support her. One person alone does not beat cancer. That is why I support Breakaway from Cancer, an initiative created to raise awareness about free services and programs for people affected by cancer. Breakaway from Cancer supports the services of 2 nonprofit organizations, the Wellness Community and the National Coalition for Cancer Survivorship, making support, education, and hope available to everyone. These organizations promote quality care and help those touched by cancer take an active role in their recovery and get them the tools they need to live well with and beyond the disease. Don't go through this alone. Visit breakawayfromcancer.com and connect to a variety of free services and programs.
Portland up on Santa Clara here at the Levy Center by 8 with 11.5 minutes to go. The new exclusive home for your Oakland A's is right here on Comcast Sportsnet California. And our first broadcast comes up in 2 weeks with a Cactus League matchup between the A's and the Giants. Where the A's are, right here on Comcast Sportsnet California. Greg Papa, Eric Musselman, and we do want to welcome those of you watching up in the Pacific Northwest on Comcast Sportsnet Northwest. I think you're familiar with the great Josh Heitfeld. Is he a WCC Player of the Year candidate?
Well, when you look at their record, Gonzaga, phenomenal record. They're going to win the regular season again, headed into the conference tournament. Heitfeld, a guy who is really coming on strong as the season has progressed, and he's played well throughout his entire career. A great shooter, and really, as you look at him as a player at the next level, he's not a 5-man, but a 4-man, but a guy who's had a huge impact on the entire WCC season.
He may have had his best game of the year here on Thursday night. He scored 29 points in the match basket for basket with Big John. Trasolini on the steal. Kevin Foster, who was played this year with food poisoning. He also had severe cramping. He's had a lot of problems. Just looks out of sorts today. We were not told of any problem. John Bryant from point-blank range. He'll go for a 3-point play. How many John Bryants are there today?
And really, this foul trouble is going to come into play without a question. Excellent bounce pass. He used that reverse dribble to create a little bit more space to get that ball into the post rather than trying to feed it into traffic.
John Bryant with 8 points now and 7 rebounds. And with the 7 rebounds, he's become the 6th rebounder in Bay Area history to get to 1,100 rebounds in his career. Bill Russell, #1 overall with over 1,600. Some great names on that list. Ollie Johnson, Bill Cartwright, Dennis Autry, Adam Keefe. There's John with another.
And Portland's going to struggle offensively without Campbell and Rabiot out of the game at the same time.
The loss of T.J. Campbell has been profound. Blocked by Haggerty. Look at Kerry Keating's pulling his hair out. He thought there should have been a foul there. 7-0 run for Santa Clara since Campbell left the game. Porter into Smelders. Little hook move there. What defense by Trasolini. Frasalini came over and made a miss, and a foul now. They held Bryant. Smelders reached and held. How did Smelders miss this shot?
Great up and under move, but you got to finish the shot. Bryant doing a good job on the backboards as usual. Excellent pump fake to get the defender.
He helps you in a lot of ways, and he is only a freshman. He will be a featured performer here next year. Bryant spins down the first free throw.
If you're Portland, you can ill afford to foul underneath your own basket when the opposition is in the bonus, and that's what just happened. And you see the results. 2 quick points with the clock stopped, and it's a 9-0 run.
And they're making all their free throws. Santa Clara's not missed a free throw today. Meanwhile, Portland is 8 for 12 from the line. 9-0 run for Santa Clara since T.J. Campbell left the game, and now they break into the Smelders basket, and he'll try to make it a 3-point play.
And Smelders, for a big guy, has excellent footwork, and he attacks the rim very, very quickly off the bounce or catch. A player who doesn't stay stationary, he continually moves inside, and he really does a great job of using his body inside.
Nice entry pass there by B.J. Porter, hit him right in the outside handle. He could just catch it and drop step towards the baseline. 47-42, Portland. If Santa Clara loses this game, they cannot finish 4th. They lose all the tiebreakers with San Diego. They will finish 5th, which means they'll have to play in the first round of the tournament. Foul on John Bryant. Haggerty looked like he came over and hit him, but he's laughing and smiling because he got number 2 on Bryant. Let's see. We know what Kerry Keating thinks of it. What do you think, Mus?
As a defender, you have got to get there before he lands. You've got to give Bryant at least room to land, and that did not happen. I would say that's a foul on the defense and not Bryant, so I totally disagree with that call. Again, this defender has got to get over here quickly before.
That's a block. I think that's 3 calls that have gone against Santa Clara today that were proven on replay to be poor calls. Backdoor cut again, Niedermeyer to Haggerty. O'Brien hit him hard, and he got away with one. The ball was squirted loose, and will go back to Santa Clara. The officials at times today, Mike Peterson, Brian Root, and Horace Shields, are really letting them go and bang.
Both coaches doing a good job of not having a technical interfere with the outcome.
Late call there. Haggerty came out on the hedge, and he's a big hedger. He brought the whole hedge, and he gets called for the foul on Foster. That's Haggerty's 3rd foul of the game.
They're trying to stop this pick and roll and try to send the ball back to the sideline. Haggerty, with his slow feet, has got to get out there earlier rather than later.
Kevin Foster from the free throw line. He has made all 4 of his free throws today. He's got 5. We have 9 minutes and 15 seconds to play here from the Levy Center on the campus of Santa Clara University. Greg Pop alongside Eric Musselman. It's the final day of West Coast Conference regular season basketball. A lot to play for both of these schools. Portland would like to finish number 2 if they win, and St. Mary's loses tonight at Loyola Marymount. They will be the number 2 seed, and they will get the coveted bye-bye, the double bye all the way to the semifinal round. For Santa Clara, they need to win and get a Gonzaga win tonight, and they get a bye into the second round of the conference tournament next weekend in Vegas. So a lot to go. A lot to play for both schools. There's Bryant looking for a double. They get a double me. Little crab dribble. Repost. Obviously, the reposting. The ball was tipped. Shot clock down. How's John going to get out of there? We get a foul call inside. They bailed him out there. John got trapped. But he gets a foul call.
And Portland does a pretty good job on their post traps. They're trying to knee him out of the block. And then on the catch, Sigma comes over and you see the double team, but they have got to squeeze him and not let him split the double team.
He's a big guy to squeeze.
He really is. It's surprising that he got through there with the split.
Although Mr. Whipple would point out that he's not as squeezably soft as he used to be. He's hardened up, and you got to give John a lot of credit. I mean, by the time he's been here, he's lost close to 100 pounds. And for a guy his size, he needs to eat. He's a big guy. To lose that much weight, Eric, is really a tremendous testament to his intestinal fortitude. 13-2 run here. 1-point game. How is Santa Clara even in this?
If I lost 100 pounds, I'd weigh 5.
You need to gain 100, my friend.
Really, the fouls are the difference in this game. Campbell on the bench with foul trouble, and Santa Clara scoring off free throws.
Ito with the rebound and the timeout called here by Eric Reveneau with 8:11 to play. So it's on. The Rough Riders are ready. They're all John Bryant's today, and they want to win. They're down 1.
Santa Clara University, founded in 1851, is California's oldest institution of higher education. Located 40 miles south of San Francisco in the heart of Silicon Valley, Santa Clara is a Jesuit university that educates its 8,700 undergraduate and graduate students to be leaders of competence, conscience, and compassion, and is distinguished nationally by the second highest graduation rate among all master's universities in the United States.
From a culture that celebrates the individual to the individual who celebrates life. From a faith that inspires compassion to the compassionate who live their faith. From the fields where champions compete to a world in need of more champions. From classrooms rich in tradition to a tradition of service and leadership. University of Portland, difference makers, then, now, forever.
What is it about Gary Radnitz that makes him so compelling?
No tight shots, young man.
His good manners.
Tell me something I don't know.
His gracious demeanor.
I'm not going to put up with that crap.
His natural congeniality.
I'm just going to go out in the street and just hoot and holler. Drinks for everybody, right here.
It may just come down to
what is more likely to keep you tuned in.
The Gary Radnitz Show, Sports Talk, weekdays from 9 a.m. to noon on Comcast Sportsnet California.
Man, that's good.
Alongside Eric Musselman, Greg Papa back inside the Levy Center here in Santa Clara. Portland has led throughout, but the lead is down to 1 here with 8 minutes and 11 seconds to play. The Pilots are a great shooting team, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the nation. California's number 1, and there they are, number 3. They've shot the ball well today, 5 out of 12 beyond the line. Santa Clara struggled. They have hit just 2 of 10 beyond this new line. And what do you think of this new line in college basketball, Mus? The NCAA moved it back out 1 foot. So the NBA line is 23-9. The NCAA men's line is 29. The women's line, which you see inside of that, is 19-9. The international line is 20 feet 6 inches. Can we have just
please,
one line?
I would love it. Everybody'd love it. Coaches, players, refs, please, one line.
That's why it's hard for Joaquin Phoenix to walk the line. He doesn't know what line to go to. Campbell's back in the game. He brought him back in, a little over 8 to play. Hannibal, no. Luke Sigma back up, no. John Bryant takes the rebound away.
And that's the effect of a big man like Bryant. Portland's bigs have struggled at times finishing, especially Sigma inside.
So T.J. Campbell back in now, playing with 4 fouls, and he's got to defend Kevin Foster.
And as a coach, that's a very tough decision on when do you bring a guy back who's 1 foul away.
Foster's finally made a basket. Fittingly, it gives the Broncos the lead. His first basket of the entire day.
And Campbell, because of his foul trouble, is not able to pressure the ball as much as if he wasn't in foul trouble.
And it's a three-pointer, and Santa Clara has their first lead of the day at 49-47. After that three-point goal, Kerry Keating curiously called timeout, something he's learned from Ben Howland at UCLA. And we asked him before the game, after your team scores, Coach, why do you call timeout?
The basic principle is that we want to get ourselves ready on the defensive end. Because if we can use those timeouts to stretch ourselves out as far as the lead goes by getting stops and then scores, then we won't need the timeouts at the end of the game because, in theory, the game won't be close.
Well, it's pretty close right now, Eric. I know you've been somewhat of a detractor on that theory. You don't like the fact you call a timeout after you score.
I think Kerry Keating does a great job coaching, but that particular issue, As a coach, I always wanted as many timeouts as I could have the last 2 minutes of the game, because you never know what type of scramble situations your team is in where they might need to regroup offensively to get a good shot.
16-3 run to take the lead. And I think it's in particular a curious time to call it today. You just took the first lead of the entire day. Why do you want to stop the game right there? You want to keep letting the crowd finally get into it, don't you?
No question, but they did get the stop, so hey, don't we know?
Foster all the way in. Forget the timeouts. If they're going to win this game today, they've got to get number 21 going here in the last 7 minutes, and he finally made a basket.
Santa Clara University, founded in 1851, is California's oldest institution of higher education. Located 40 miles south of San Francisco in the heart of Silicon Valley, Santa Clara is a Jesuit university that educates its 8,700 undergraduate and graduate students to be leaders of competence, conscience, and compassion, and is distinguished nationally by the second highest graduation rate among all master's universities in the United States.
Who will advance to the dance? The West Coast Conference Men's and Women's Basketball Championships head to the bright lights of Las Vegas and the Orleans Arena on March 6th through the 9th. Don't miss your opportunity to see 2008 NCAA tournament participants Gonzaga, St. Mary's, and San Diego battle Loyola Marymount, Pepperdine, Portland, San Francisco, and Santa Clara for the right to advance to the 2009 NCAA Men's and Women's Basketball tournaments. Buy your tickets now at WCCSports.com.
At U.S. Bank, we support athletics, the arts, and anyone with a dream. Support that's not just about money. It's about investing our time and our care to make the most of the places we call home. That's the power of U.S. Bank. 5-star service guaranteed.
Kevin Foster finally makes a shot, and it gives Santa Clara their first lead of the game. They made a three-pointer to put them up 2. They were down by as many as 12 at 45-33. And now Foster will be on the free throw line here. This is where Santa Clara is winning the game today. They have not missed a free throw. And Foster has made all 6 of his, and John Bryant has made all 9. So the two stars are not scoring from the floor, but they're getting to the line, and up until this one, they had made them all.
You just jinxed it.
I didn't bring it up, Coach. Wasn't I just reading.
And the interesting thing, both Bryant and Foster have both taken the most field goals, 1 of 9 and 3 of 9. So they're getting their attempts up, but just not converting.
Got the second one. Santa Clara by 3. Skip pass by Rabio to Campbell. Knutsen's back into the game as well, playing with 4 fouls. Gets Bryant to fight. Bryant, he does not get off the ground very high, nor very often. That time did leave his feet. And a clever little head fake there by Knutsen to induce the foul.
And you've got to finish inside. Bryant is a big body. He does block shots, but you've got to finish. Portland does a great job of big-to-big, high-low pass over the top or bounce passes, but you've got to finish when you get that close to the rim.
Kramer Knutsen makes it a 2-point game. Now, Knutsen's playing with 4 fouls. John just got his 3rd. TJ Campbell is playing with 4. Now, the NBA game, you try to involve these guys defensively and go at them. Might Kerry Keating decide to post Kevin Foster, make Campbell defend him in the post and try to foul him out of the game. That's out of bounds off of Santa Clara. Portland gets the ball back.
Foster either could post up or he could look to continue to put the ball on the deck and get to the foul line. He's got 8 free throws attempted, so that's one way to put pressure on Campbell is to drive the ball at him to try to pick up his 5th foul.
And he's very physical. He picked up number 4, just going chest to chest on a perimeter offensive player. Rabio going to his left. Foul called on Santos. That's no basket, right? They're going to wipe that off.
We know in the NBA that's a basket.
Different league here, different rules. It went in off the back of the rim, a couple of bounces, but the ball was whistled dead right there. Yeah, he did not gather. The shot was not gathered in time, clearly.
Without the step back, that counts. Right. That one extra push back with his left foot caused it to be a shooting foul, or in the bonus, a non-shooting foul, I should say.
Raivio struggled from the line in the first half against San Diego, and he's missed a big free throw there. His brother Derek, we mentioned earlier, 92.7% free throw shooters, 4 years at Gonzaga, one of the greatest free throw shooters in college basketball history. Timeout called here.
Again, out of the dead ball situation, meaning a free throw, side out, or baseline out. Portland goes to a different type defense where they trap the ball in the corners or they'll trap the ball at half court.
Two good young coaches. Eric Revenant will be 43 next month, and Kerry Keating, 37 years of age. Also, Rex Walters, a good young coach at USF. Might he have the West Coast Conference's Player of the Year this year? He at least had the conference's leading scorer in Dior Lohorn.
And Lohorn has done an excellent job this year of adding a new dimension to his game with the 45% shooting beyond the three-point line. He's proven in the past that he can really score inside, but to be a Player of the Year, your team has probably got to win more games than what the Dons have done this year.
Dior leads the scoring in the conference again. He led last year over 20 a game. Patty Mills may have been the West Coast Conference Player of the Year had he not fallen in late January up in Gonzaga and Spokane against the Bulldogs. So we've got Diamond Simpson, Josh Heupel, Dior Lohorn. Is John Bryant going to be a WCC Player of the Year candidate today? Is he going to make the list?
I think he's got to at some point. We need a few more timeouts, though.
Well, Kerry Keating's not going to have any more left. He burns them all after they score. Santos picks up the foul. And 5:51 to play. A tough loss for Santa Clara last Saturday night on the hilltop to Dior Lohorn in the Dons. Big win for Rex Walters, their last home game of the year. And Michael Santos had some tough final moments. He missed a pair of free throws late in regulation with 3.8 to play, which would have won the game. Then he committed a very late foul in overtime, which gave Kwame Vaughn a couple of free throws. He made one and wound up costing his team the game. What a tough loss that was.
And when you foul so far from the basket, that's what hurts. It's one thing to foul when a guy's inside the lane or in shooting range, but when you're fouling underneath your own basket, that's what really kills you.
Get you some scores here. Gonzaga and San Diego are underway at Jenny Craig Pavilion just early on. USF won again. They beat Pepperdine by a score of 70-62. So Rex Walters' Dons win 2 of their last 3. They only have one conference win. Most of them wind up with 3 here.
And sometimes when you take a stand from a discipline standpoint and you limit your roster, everybody knows they're going to get minutes. And sometimes your team elevates its play.
Jared Stoll for the lead back. Surprised he missed it. If he's open, they normally splash. Raivio the rebound. The foul called on Santa Clara. No, it's on Portland. Foul's on Portland. Raivio got the rebound, but the ball's coming down to this end, and Santa Clara is going to shoot more free throws. Tough little break there for the Pilots. Raivio got the guy open that he wanted. When Jared Stoll has this much room to squeeze one off, he almost always makes it.
Great shooter. He had to put the ball on the floor, which he's a little bit not as comfortable putting it on the floor, but how is that a foul? That's a premier guard rebounder. Wow. And really, he just outreacted the Broncos.
And he fouled Rehan, who misses the first free throw. Well, you're talking about Santa Clara's not getting a lot of calls their way today. That one clearly was their way, and all the free throwing has been Santa Clara's. They have shot way more free throws than Portland today. Rehan gets this one to stay down. Santa Clara shot the ball much better in the second half, and Portland has cooled off considerably. 3-point game, 5 minutes to go. Raivio's going to post. Nice pass.
Great pass.
Wow.
Great pass. What great court vision.
Kramer Knutson able to dive down. They do some clever things with their big guys.
You know what's interesting, Greg, is remember Dr. Tom Davis and the bounce pass. How Stanford used to always throw bounce passes, and you see that same characteristic here with Portland.
Of course, that's the coach that Eric Revenant played for his first 2 years on the farm. He played for Dr. Tom first and then Mike Montgomery for 2 years. Looked like Santa Clara had re-energized down the stretch, but they've gone flat again. Rivio with a left hand. Rebound to John Bryant. Bryant has a double-double again today. He leads the nation in double-doubles. This is his 24th of the year and his 14th in a row.
Portland back in the 1-3-1. They are probably playing the zone defense to try to keep Campbell out of defending man-to-man to pick up his 5th foul.
Foster rims out. Rebound. Trasolini to Bryant. Again, Big John. And the Broncos go up by 3.
Bryant just does a great job of continuing to go after his own misses.
Great hands. Great rebounder. Rivio going to post Calvin Johnson. The step back. Got it. Wow, big time shot there by Nick Rivio.
That's 2 possessions in a row where Portland has looked at their off guard or small forward in the post.
St. Mary's is going to tip off against Loyola Marymount in about 10 minutes. And they may need to win that game to get the number 2 seed, the all-important number 2 seed. Rayhan answers back for Santa Clara to put it back up by 3. Now they're playing. 3-point game, 3 minutes to play in Santa Clara. Rayhan takes the shot away a Stoll. T.J. Campbell to his left. It's going to Rivio. He's the guy here. Rivio has taken over down the stretch. Gives it up here to Stoll. Good defense by Rayhan. Stoll puts it on the deck. Knutson gets Bryant out. Foul on John.
Really impressed with the passing of the entire Portland ball club.
4th foul of the game on John Bryant. There's James Rayhan with a big basket for Santa Clara to give them back a 3-point lead with 2:39 to go.
When the Bay Area's top high schools choose a company for their biggest construction projects, they choose DevCon Construction. The new 50,000 square foot humanities building with its state-of-the-art theater at Bellarmine College Prep is being built by DevCon. St. Francis High School chose DevCon for its new 30,000 square foot theater. And St. Ignatius now has a state-of-the-art music room, weight room, classrooms, and upgraded cafeteria, all built by DevCon. Completed on time and on budget. DevCon Construction, the path to higher expectations.
Saturday and Sunday on Golf Channel. 64 of the world's best will slug it out in the Arizona desert, where there's danger every step of the way. This is Match Play, Golf's March Madness. Lose, you go home. Who will be left standing at the WGC Accenture Match Play Championship? Find out Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern on Golf Channel.
My first week home was great. We had a party, small party.
2 o'clock in the morning, they were waiting for me.
My niece was waiting for me at the airport with a sign and balloons.
There was a huge sign across my front house, and it said, "Welcome home, Megan."
They lifted me up on their shoulders, and
First week back, people just said thank you. They just said thank you.
A new generation of veterans is coming home. Make a difference for them at welcomebackveterans.org.
West Coast Conference basketball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Lunardi's Markets, with 7 Bay Area locations to serve you. Lunardi's Markets, quite simply, the best. By One Workplace, a proud sponsor of Santa Clara Athletics, providing office furniture, audio, video products, and workplace services to perfectly manage your workspace. And by Wells Fargo, banking services for all your personal and business needs. Well, a few guys have taken it to the cliff here as far as being disqualified. T.J. Campbell, the Portland point guard. Kramer Knutson, their center. And Ben Dowdell not playing a lot of minutes off the bench. And Big John Bryant's got 4 fouls. There's Campbell. When he went out, Portland lost a lot of their energy, and they've not been able to regain it. There's Kramer Knutson trying to make this a 1-point game.
And the 2 keys in that foul trouble category are obviously Bryant and Campbell. And you look at a guy like Bryant, you say he's really struggled, and then you check out the stat sheet. 9 of 9 from the foul line, 15 rebounds, 17 points, and 3 blocks.
Portland can't make a free throw. Big rebound by Smelders. Portland has missed 10 free throws today. They are 9 of 19 from the free throw line. Conversely, Santa Clara is 20 to 22. Foster's tried to push T.J. Campbell middle, not let him go baseline. Rivio. Campbell. In the post. Smelders. Bryant's he's out. They call that on Bryant. That'll be his 5th foul of the game. He'll be out. Nope. Did they get it on John? He was the one who was there defending. He didn't like the call, but he does have some good news. It was not on John Bryant. He picked it up there.
Trasolini will come over here and help. Or actually, it's Calvin Johnson. It looks like just a slap on the wrist.
It was on Johnson.
No reason for Johnson to do that. You got to come over, square up, not reach. Bryant had a body on the offensive player.
Well, Smelders makes both. After Knutson missed a pair, they got the rebound. 12 offensive rebounds for Portland. The free throwing has been a humongous disparity. Trasolini, John Bryant. No foul. Knutson cleanly. Rivio. Smelders will back away. Portland trying to retake the lead. Campbell gets Rayhan to bite. Airballed it.
Coach Keating has done an unbelievable job of trying to find pieces that fit. The team has struggled all game. He's finally settled in on these 5.
Foster all the way in. Out to Calvin Johnson. Senior misses. Foster back up. Rayhan for a 3. Won't go down. Rebound to Knutson with 1:20 to play.
Execution in the last minute of a ball game, paramount.
No timeout called by Eric Reveneau. Campbell, after shooting an air ball a moment ago and being reminded of it, to Rivio. Loves that step back. Didn't get enough legs in it. Another rebound. Campbell gets a reprieve. And this one to Foster. There's bodies all over the baseline. Who's the foul on? It's on Portland. It's on Rivio.
On that offensive rebound, Campbell possibly could have used a little more clock rather than take a quick shot.
Hold on, was Rivio fouled or did he commit the foul?
I think it was a block-out foul on the Broncos.
And they pointed right at Rivio. I thought he got the foul. No, it's right there. It's on Calvin Johnson. He just shoves Rivio, obviously. Yeah, it's on Calvin. So Rivio's on the line to try and tie it and put him ahead.
And because he's such a good
foul shot, though.
Because he's such a good offensive rebounder, your team is over-aggressive, blocking him out. But you got to convert these free throws.
He had a bad free-throwing game at Jenny Craig Pavilion on Thursday. This to tie the game. Not pretty. Rim, backboard, but in.
He willed that one in.
Timeout. Well, each school has 55.
Kerry had that offensive timeout left over. That was good.
He saved it. 55 seconds to play in the game. All right, John Bryant. Is he getting the ball here on the inbound? You have to think he is, the way Foster has struggled today, and I think he is the West Coast Conference's Player of the Year. It's been a milestone year for Big John, over 1,000 points on the year. Look at the numbers. Mr. Double-Double. That used to be because he went to In-N-Out Burger a lot, and that was his order. But now every single night, he's getting 10 and 10 at least. And some nights, he's had 4 20-20 games this year.
And his numbers, as just strictly a numbers guy, are absolutely mind-boggling. When you look at his rebounding, scoring, and maybe the most impressive thing is the field goal percentage, because every opponent in their walkthrough or shoot-around game day practice, they're focused on John Bryant, knowing that he's going to get the majority of the touches. He's their scoring leader, and so the whole defense is focused on him, and he still finds a way to put up numbers.
Well, those are our candidates: Diamond Simpson, Josh Heitfeld, Dior Lohorn, Nick Rivio, and John Bryant. Gonzaga obviously is the best team in the conference. Again, no surprise. They're going to play San Diego later on, trying to have a third undefeated year in conference play in 6 years. But they're so well balanced. Heidfeld was our candidate, but they have so many great players. It's hard to pick one, I think, of all their galaxy of stars to be a West Coast Conference Player of the Year this year.
It really is, Greg, because Pargo is a guy who has made them go on many a nights. And really, as a coach, when you look at their ball club, you sit there and say Matt Bolden is a guy who's the glue guy. He does all the little things Bolden does for Gonzaga. And we haven't even mentioned their best pro prospect, which is Day.
All right, here we go. Where are we going now? Into Bryant.
Got to go inside to Bryant.
He and Trasolini are on the elbow. A little cross-screen action. Bryant goes left block. Knutson will front him. They know where they're going. They're going to double Rayhan. He throws it off of Raivio's foot. Yes, he did. And Santa Clara will get the ball. That set did not go well. They got trapped in the corner there.
And, Greg, you've got to keep the ball out of the four corners, meaning half court, both sides of half court, both corners, because of the defense that Portland is in. They're not into man-to-man defense, so the ball is going to have to change from first side to second side and then dump it inside. But you've got to make entry passes from the top, not the corner.
Kerry Keating just called his final timeout of the game. Remember, he called the timeout after the made three by Foster. Incidentally, the only basket that Foster's made all day to give Santa Clara their first lead of the day. So now he has no more timeouts remaining. Again, this game is of utmost importance to Kerry Keating in this program. Their goal has been to finish in the top half of the conference to get a first-round bye in next week's conference tournament. If they lose this game, that will not happen. If they lose this game, they lose all the tiebreakers to San Diego. San Diego will be number 4, and they'll be number 5. If they win the game, then they need a Gonzaga victory, very probable, obviously, against San Diego, then, and it would be Santa Clara, who would be number 4.
Well, Greg, one thing we know for sure, Santa Clara does not lack experience in these situations because they have had so many close games throughout the entire year. You would hope at this juncture of the season, last game, that you'd be able to close out a game that you've been in all these different scenarios throughout the course of the season, so your young players grow and gain confidence.
What happened here? They had an incorrect sub into the game. We have 40 seconds to play here from the Levy Center on the campus of Santa Clara University. Final regular season game for both the Portland Pilots, who are 9-4 in WCC play, trying to get that number 2 seed up against Santa Clara, 6-7 in conference play after their 0-4 conference start, trying to secure a 4th place finish and a first-round bye. Calvin Johnson comes back in, and Santos is out. So it is Foster to inbound with Johnson, Rayhan, Trasolini, and Bryant. And they get the ball to Bryant. The ball is tipped, and Foster threw it away on the inbounds.
The importance of an inbounds passer.
And now they want the lead. Raivio misses. Bryant tips, pulls, can't get, goes down. They're all on the court. Possession arrow, Santa Clara. The Broncos have it. Shot clock is off. 29 seconds to play.
And when you have a freshman inbound the basketball and he already has 6 turnovers, that's a risky proposition to put him in that position. And it's just a sloppy inbounds pass trying to throw the ball over the top of a taller defender.
Kevin Foster has picked the worst possible time to have his worst possible game. But they can still bail it out. The great ones have a way of putting away an awful, awful day and make the shot to win the game when they have to. Kevin Foster, you're on. Where are you going with it? This is to win the game. He's looking over to Keating like he doesn't know what to do.
And Santa Clara wants to keep the ball out of the corners and try to somehow get the ball inside to Bryant.
He's going to take this himself.
Middle pick and roll.
Foster trying to win it himself. And a hellacious step-back shot. And a rebound. Rayhan, no, trying, no. We're going to overtime. Not a good set at all to take a step-back 3 like that.
If you have a timeout to use, you can regroup. I'm going to continue to emphasize the fact that a freshman with the ball in his hands, Portland does a solid job defensively. He's actually double-teamed, and there's enough time to make one more pass.
I was surprised they did not get Bryant in the post and try to get it into him or at least draw a foul inside.
And Coach Keating diagrammed a middle pick and roll, so they could have played a 2-man game, but Foster went on his own.
The regular season has been extended 5 more minutes.
Steroids can really damage your body. They can cause tendons to tear and bones to stop growing, damage kidneys, destroy the liver, even cause heart attacks and strokes. Not to mention something else they can do to a guy's body. Find out more about the dangers of using steroids. Visit drugfree.org.
What you looking at?
Just on adultfriendfinder.com.
Haha, very funny, Michael.
Actually, my assignment in biology is on the reproductive system. So I was kind of worried some pretty gnarly stuff would come up in my searches, but it didn't. I'm actually learning in a kid-safe environment.
See? Aren't you glad we installed those parental controls from the cable company?
Yeah, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but you were right.
Yes, sweet victory.
Parents have options. Find out more about parental controls at pointsmartclicksafe.org.
First overtime will commence in moments here. Greg Pop alongside Eric Musselman inside the Levy Center. Portland Pilots will have a chance to get their 19th win of the year and their 10th conference win for Santa Clara University. We are looking at the past and the present in John Bryant playing his final game. We're also looking at the present and the future in Kevin Foster. And Kevin Foster has really had a very poor day, but tremendous confidence in this young man who's had a great year overall. And his coaching staff to allow him to continue to be the guy down the stretch that takes the big shots.
And these last 5 minutes, the foul situation becomes paramount for both teams. Bryant, Campbell, can they play the whole 5 minutes without picking up their 5th foul?
TJ Campbell going right after it. He has 15 points now, scores the first basket of the overtime. Kevin Foster in regulation, 1 for 11 from the floor. He also committed 7 turnovers. The Broncos turned it over again. That is their 20th turnover of the game, but Portland turns it right back. It's been that kind of day.
Portland does a good job of swarming any post-ups of Bryant, sending not one guy but 2 defenders at him. And this zone defense has bothered Santa Clara a little bit.
Trasolini! Nice entry pass there by Michael Santos. He threw a 2-hander right through Portland's defense.
And Kerry Keating is trying to spread the offense out to make the defense chase and not be able to keep the lane compact.
TJ Campbell, stutter drive into Knutson. Nice finish there by Kramer Knutson. Both Campbell and Knutson playing with 4 fouls for most of the second half.
And there you see another bounce pass, interior, get in the lane, drop it off to the big off the bounce.
Santos trying to pass through this zone to Bryant. Bottom of the circle, out to Rayhan. Kevin Foster to Rayhan. Shot clock is at 10. Rayhan from the baseline, shot it flat. Rebound past Jared Stolle, had a chance to get that, but he could not get there in time. For the lead back. Another flat release by Rayhan, not getting the lift on that shot.
He's doing a good job following his own misses, but he's got to get that ball. Late game, the first thing to go is your legs. As a shooter, the deeper you shoot, the shorter your shot becomes, so you've got to overemphasize getting lift on those 3-point shots.
TJ Campbell feeding it inside to Knutson, and Knutson, Campbell both playing with 4 fouls, and now Knutson's done, being serenaded here. He is done. He is fouled out of this game.
What is it about Gary Radnitz that makes him so compelling?
No tight shots, young man.
His good manners.
Tell me something I don't know.
His gracious demeanor.
I'm not going to put up with that crap.
His natural congeniality.
I'm just going to go out in the street and just hoot and holler. Drinks for everybody, right here.
It may just come down to
what is more likely to keep you tuned in.
The Gary Radnitz Show, Sports Talk, weekdays from 9 a.m. to noon on Comcast Sportsnet California.
Man, that's good.
In this economy, cutting costs is top of the list for small businesses. Switching to Comcast is the cut that actually gets you more. Unlimited nationwide calling, really fast internet, Microsoft Outlook email, tools that keep your business competitive affordably. Call 866-664-0777 and get phone and internet for just $99, an incredible savings. Cut costs, not corners. Switch to Comcast Business Class.
Santa Clara's down 2. They have Big John Bryant on the free throw line trying to tie this game. John, 17 points today and 17 rebounds. He began this final Saturday of the regular season for his conference just slightly behind, 0.2 of a rebound behind Blake Griffin of Oklahoma. 13.6 rebounds a game for John, did 13.8 for Blake, who incidentally was cleared to come back today after being concussed last Saturday in their big game against Texas.
And they need him
a little bit. And he wound up losing to Kansas on Monday night without him. John Bryant, boy, great touch, great shooter. Makes both free throws, tie game.
Santa Clara now goes to his zone defense.
Campbell, lob. Sikma could not finish, but he does coming out the other side. Nicely done by Luke Sikma.
Great finish.
To Gather, did not try to oop it down hard. Gathered came out the weak side. Nice pass by T.J. Campbell. Campbell has a renewed vigor to his game since the overtime started. Foster, can he find the range? Not yet. Rebound to Sikma. Stoll. Not even Jared Stoll is making shots. What a rebound by John Bryant. Did not pick up a foul, knocked everybody off the baseline, and just plucked the ball. Foster, late pass. Santos had an open shot, but he wants a layup instead. Good decision to put it on the deck.
Excellent decision.
Tie game.
Coach Keating's done a phenomenal job because really Santa Clara has not shot the ball well all day, but yet they've hung around.
Now, their two best players have played subpar. I mean, Foster's had a miserable game, and he's never gotten out of it. Bryant's putting up big numbers because he's free throwing so well, but he's not having his usual game down to the low post. But somehow they get the tying basket here by Santos, who gave up the jumper to drive it in for the layup.
Again, as the game goes and progresses, the longer it goes, the harder the three-point shot becomes because of your legs. He does a good job of understanding there's not a shot blocker on the floor for Portland. Take the ball to the rim. At worst, try to get fouled.
Jerry Keating is coaching his heart out. We talked to Eric Rebineau at halftime, and look at the tremendous improvement in Portland's program from Coach Rebineau's second year to his third year. And I think Kerry Keating is hoping to have the same results. This is his second year. Now, he's going to lose John Bryant in the offseason, but he feels like with Foster and these young legs, he'll be able to get out and run more, play more like the Phoenix Suns, the way they space on the break, and they're expecting big things from next year.
And as a head coach, you always want your own players that fit your style, identity, and personality, and that's what happens in your second, third, and fourth year as a coach.
2 minutes to go. Shot clock at 15 for Rivio. Into Santos. She charged. Michael Santos picks it up.
Santos making big plays down the stretch for Santa Clara. Does a great job here of moving his feet and then taking the blow with the body with the off arm.
Watch Rivio extend the arm right there and drop the shoulder. Boy, when he gets shaken out of the eye, he's going at you. He's going to take you off the dribble. Rivio gets taken out of the game here. That's his third foul. Interesting call to pull him out here.
And he was really the go-to guy in regulation.
I think they'll get him back in for offense. Foster trying to save the turnover with a highlight-type scoop. Couldn't do it. Now, that'll be Foster's turnover, but the pass to Foster was high. They're not going to let Campbell forget that one of his misses today was an air ball. Oh, he's made a lot of big shots. Look at Luke Sikma. Missed it. Nice post up on Trasolini. Missed it. Rebound to Bryant. There are a lot of tired young men out there right now. They got to dig deep for this set. Santa Clara trying to retake the lead. Ball tipped out by Sikma.
Santa Clara has to move the ball from one side to the second side and then back to the third side and look inside. The ball is becoming too stagnant on one side of the floor. You've got to make this zone defense stretch it out and move the ball with the pass and not the dribble.
And Coach Keating sensed that Trasolini was dragging a bit. He gets him out, gets the fresh legs of Ben Dowdell, the Australian, in. 1 minute to play. Foster going to continue to shoot here. Is he giving it up? Rayhan to Bryant. Throws an elbow to clear clear space, and Big John scores.
Excellent bounce pass.
There was Rayhan who fed it to him.
And the ability to draw the defender who's guarding Bryant and then make the dish. He draws the extra defender, and Sigma a little bit late on the weak side help.
John Bryant is one rebound away from his 5th 2020 of the year. He is the Hugh Downs of college basketball, trying to go 20-20 again.
Greg, you know, he does such a great job of not bringing the ball below his waist, and he doesn't use any extra dribbles. He catches the ball above his shoulders, keeps the ball high, and finishes high. A lot of big guys have a tendency to use one dribble to gather their feet, and then they get stripped by smaller players. Bryant does not utilize that move. He catches high and finishes high.
Interestingly, Eric Revedo brings in Big John Haggerty to set a screen here. He does so on Foster, trying to get Campbell free. Shot clock at 25:45 on the game clock, and you're down 2. Campbell threw it away, but it was taken back by Smelders. Tie up, possession arrow to Santa Clara. Santa Clara will take it with 41 and 1/10 of a second to go.
Michael Santos has made all the game-winning plays. The nice bounce pass, the extra rotation defensively, taking the charge. He reads this weak side pass perfectly.
And it was Michael Santos last Saturday night on the Hilltop against USF that made some very poor plays down the stretch, missing 2 free throws with 3.8 seconds to play, and then inexplicably fouling Kwame Vaughn with just split seconds to play, tenths of seconds to play in the game, right under his own basket after a missed shot, and it wound up costing his team a game. So it would be somewhat of redemption for the young man that he would be able to bounce back and have a huge late game finish. And right now he's giving the Broncos exactly that.
And in defense of Santos, to make that call at USF is very hard to stomach, because again, it had no outcome. You know, the guy was not going to make an offensive play, meaning Brown. You got to give Coach Keating a ton of credit to stick with Michael Santos. He made a game-changing play, like you mentioned, with the foul at USF. But here, late game, overtime, 41 seconds, he's given this young player a ton of confidence by leaving him in the game, and Santos is making game-changing plays.
Last WCC game of the year for the Broncos in regular season play. It all began back in heartbreaking fashion in Moraga. Patty Mills on January the 9th beats him with 2.5 seconds to play. That kind of summarizes Santa Clara's year. They get off to an 0-4 conference start. So many heartbreaking losses on the road. But here at home, they have found a way to win at home. They're 10-3 here. They've got the ball in a 2-point lead. And a foul there. Porter will foul James Rayhan with 37 and 3/10 of a second to play. Rayhan on the year, a very good free throw shooter, 79%. He hit 60 of 76 through his freshman year coming into the game today. And Rayhan today has made 3 out of 4 previous free throws.
The foul, with the time and where it occurred and how they committed the foul, was a good play. It's just you sent the wrong player to the line.
Now it's a 3-point lead. This is the big free throw to give them a 2-possession lead. TJ Campbell comes back in for the Pilots. Taishi Ito, who was in ever so briefly, will leave. Rayhan makes them both. 4-point Santa Clara lead.
Getting a quick shot off is key here for the Pilots.
Do you need a 2, or do you just know? I mean,
just got to get a bucket as quick as you can.
Rivio waits for Santos to go up, and then he scores a 2 with 25 seconds to play. Timeout, Portland. So they'll stretch this game out now. They've got to get a missed free throw here somewhere, a steal, or they're going to have to get a missed free throw to give themselves a chance to tie the game with a 3-pointer.
Excellent job here with the pump fake, potentially trying to get a 3-point play with the pump fake, trying to get the defender in the air, which he did, but the defender does a great job of avoiding contact on the play.
There's Michael Santos, who left his feet but did not fall on Rivio. So we have a 2-point game. What a great game. It's been a bit of a grinder. The teams have not flowed offensively well. But here we are with Santa Clara having a chance to win this game, which would give them a real shot to be the number 4 seed in the West Coast Conference Tournament, which is a huge advantage. You like the double bye, obviously, which the Portland's playing for, but you like that bye as well, where you don't have to play in the first day of the tournament coming up next week. You go right to the quarterfinals.
After a long season, what it'll do is it'll give the coaching staffs who have those byes extra time to prepare. Your team rests all the small injuries, and you come into a game much more mentally fresh with the byes.
Rayhan's the guy they wanted in his hands here. Campbell just fouled out. T.J. Campbell fouled him, and he has no more. T.J. Campbell will foul out of the game here with 23 seconds to play.
Really, you don't need Campbell in the game at that juncture because you know you're going to foul. Let a backup player utilize a foul and then check back in the game.
Look at this young leader get his team together before he walks off the floor. He is done, right? That's his 5th foul.
It's his 5th foul, and he's their best 3-point shooter.
He's trying to hide here. They are Comiskey parking him out of here, serenading him, and he will leave now, and Taishi Ito will come in.
Again, when you know you're going to foul, you almost need to protect your premier 3-point shooter and your team leader.
You got to sub him, get him off the floor on defense so he's out there for offense. Santa Clara's had a great free-throwing game all day. Rayhan's been clutch. This next one's the big one again to keep them up by more than 3 to make it a 2-possession game.
Santa Clara all game, Coach Keating trying to find 5 guys that mesh. Sure have done that.
Rebound to Porter. Here's Ito. They need a 3 here to tie. Stoll's a great shooter. Ravio. We're going for a tie here. Do you take a foul for Santa Clara at some point? Ravio blocked. That was blocked by Santos. Big John's got a 20-20. He's got the rebound, and they foul him with 4 8/10 of a second to play. Michael Santos blocked the 3 from Ravio.
And Coach Keating is explaining that he wanted his ball club to utilize a foul.
He's saying, Coach, I blocked his shot. That's better than fouling. Although it's so dangerous, you go up and you put that much pressure on a 3-point shooter and he makes it and you foul him. Did he block that? Watching it live, I thought he got a piece of it. I'm not sure from that angle. Big John. Yeah, he hit every rim in the Levy Center when it falls. And now the Broncos are in good shape. They're up 4 with 4 8/10 of a second to go. Look at this line.
How about the conversion rate from the free throw line for Santa Clara, especially down the stretch? I jinxed him.
Maybe better that he missed it. You don't get the inbound. Ito will take it too. That game's over. John Bryant goes out in style with his 5th 20-20 game of the year, the most in all of college basketball. What a great career he has had the moment he arrived here in Santa Clara. And in a big game, boy, they had to grind this one out today. Kevin Foster just was not himself. You have to wonder if he was physically deterred in any way, either under the weather or some sort of injury. He played very poorly, Eric, and never got rolling. But John Bryant and the will of this basketball team, Trasolini and Rayhan and Dowdell off the bench, they just willed themselves to a grinder today.
They really did. They hung in while they struggled offensively, and eventually things started to click from an offensive standpoint, and they made their free throws. They did a great job of getting into the bonus early in that second half.
John Bryant has gone into the Rough Riders. He's being engulfed here by the student section. That's the way it was after they beat St. Mary's here. Calvin Johnson comes over as well. The seniors. And Big John is going to give us a few moments here before we leave you today. What a game by John Bryant. What a way to end his career. We're going to get him a headset on and right between us. John, Greg Papa, and Eric Musselman with congratulations. What does it feel like to jump into the student section here and have that kind of send-off today?
Oh, man, it's great. Get the win for the senior night, man. It's what we wanted. We want to come in here and win. and it gives us good momentum going into the tournament next week. So I think it's a great win for us.
And now you have a chance to get that number 4 spot at Gonzaga.
Definitely.
Now you're going to root for Gonzaga today after what happened here at Thursday. This was a grinder, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Kevin Foster, was anything wrong with him today, physically ill or anything? Because he was not himself today. I've seen him.
I don't think there was anything wrong with him. I just think, he comes out, you're going to have bad games and good games. I think, we fought through. He didn't make early shots, and we just came through and grinded it out. Just like you said, we grinded it out in the second half.
And you struggled yourself. You did not have the usual flow to your offensive game scoring, but you got yourself to the line. You guys won the game today from the free throw line.
Yeah, definitely. They have, to give Portland credit, they have 5 big men that are just in there banging, and they were just in there. I was tired pretty much the whole game because I was banging with different dude every time, and that's kept me out of the flow. But the free throw line is where you get your money at. So I think we definitely got it in on the free throw line.
John, you graduate a little bit early, right? So you will have 2 months to kind of prepare before you get into that NBA draft situation. So what do you plan on doing with those 2 months without schoolwork to take care of?
Me and our new trainer are just excited about it. We talk about it every time we get in the weight room. It's going to be like 3-a-day workouts, just burning calories, getting the body in shape, getting ready, and I'm excited for it too because I tell them all the time I miss the weight room because it's a great feeling when you get out the weight room. You feel good about yourself, your body's looking better and stuff like that. It's definitely going to be a good time for me.
Well, that's a great bonus to get that schoolwork done early so that you can take care of your basketball business as well.
Yeah. And John is one of 64 invitees to the Portsmouth Invitational, very prestigious. So hopefully we'll see you one day in the NBA. But we're going to watch you next weekend in the WCC tournament. You got a few more games to wear in that number 54. Congratulations.
I can't hear you.
He can't hear a thing. You got a few more games to play, John. Up into the Rough Riders. What a game today here by John Bryant and the Santa Clara. What a win today.
Steroids can really damage your body. They can cause tendons to tear and bones to stop growing, damage kidneys, destroy the liver, even